controversial opinions.
Soon may the white men come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Sylas, would you like to introduce the podcast?
Hello. That was our Make-A-Wish guest and performer, Jacqueline. Alright, thank you, Jacqueline. Sorry, we have to make this segment legally, to stay in business. That's the only funding. Oh, it really make me teary. Shit. Hello, welcome everybody from all across the world. You are tuning in live, not live. I lied to you just then. Look at my face. I lied to you. It's not live. It is three hunks of men. It is three hunks of men, and we have joined together to give you the best source of entertainment. What is that today, I wonder? Well, before I get into that, I'm going to introduce our guest and leave you in a bit of suspense. So, over to my... Pertlight is on my left for me, but, however, it will be on the right for him. Therefore, for you, I'm on your right, or anywhere you want me to be.
The way that the podcast is set up, because there's an overlay now, thank you, Polf, is I'm always on the... I'm always on the right side, you're always on the left side, Brody's always underneath, which Brody's always underneath anyways, because, you know.
Yeah, I'm British. You know, I'm a lesser human being.
I was going to say because you're a bottom, but yeah, we can go with that,
Wait,
too.
you're on the right side?
I'd actually rather be inferior to be a bottom.
I just processed that in my brain. Okay, so yeah, on my right side we have Pertlight. Say hello, Pertlight. You look awfully like Jacqueline, I guess, but it's fine. You know.
Is my fucking camera not focusing on me? There it is. Also, did you say I look like Jacqueline? What?
Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Jacqueline, our Make-A-Wish guest this morning.
Can you fuck off?
It's fine. So
my fucking brain is fried. Hello, everyone. My name is Pertlight. I don't know why we're introducing everyone. We've already introduced ourselves, like the past
So tell us about yourself, because we haven't met you before. Tell us three things about yourself.
My brain is fried because Sylas and I was an idiot and thought I could stay up all night, and so
too much
it's currently
time. Brody, I'm giving you.
You know what? Fuck you. No, I'm gonna finish this because I think this is a funny story. It is currently 8:30 in the goddamn morning, and I didn't go to sleep last night. So basically, I was like, I'll stay up late, and I'll just kind of stay up until the thing. And I got an energy drink. And the energy drink didn't do anything, by the way, obviously. So before this, I got about a 2-hour nap, and which did help me. I feel much better. And before that, Sylas and I, for like 2, 3, 4 hours straight, it was long. We just hung out and chatted, and then eventually we played a game. And it was fucking awful. We got a bunch of footage, which may or may not be a video. I don't fucking know. We'll have to see. Sylas doesn't want it to be released, and I don't want it to be released either.
No, yeah.
It's probably best if it isn't, but I think what was revealed there should be out for the public to see. We also, we actually...
it should be on the public
Should we mention who we roleplayed as? Because we explained most of this to Brody, but we didn't specify the exact most important thing about the fact that not the entire time, like the first half of it, we were roleplaying as Mac and me.
Yeah, that's right. Meaning Pertlight just made Mac noises. Don't know if you wanted to give us a little audio test.
And then I'd also go...
That's right.
Because he whistled because he had that little butthole.
There's a Gundan cartel members, yeah.
Did you ever just like take one of those drills and just like drill a hole in a wall and then just leave the drill there for no reason? And then just like
pedophilia to have
an
sex
entire
with
living room?
Mac?
He is a citizen.
So anyways, Brody, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello. My name is Brody. I live at.
I live in Liverpool.
Put in the scene of Walter White telling everyone where he lives. And I am British, and I am going to kill you.
Do it, Paul.
Death.
Where's the
Yeah,
fuck?
And yes, I am Sylas. Hello, I'm me. I'm not cool. You're not cool. If you're here, you're not cool. Cool? That's cool.
He doesn't want you to know,
What?
but he's also English.
What?
Why'd you
That
just
is the
dox him,
most-
Brewery? That's kind of fucked
That
up,
is the most
man.
egregious statement in the world. Are you mental?
Are you fucking mental,
British?
mate?
Are you okay, mate?
Shut
I
up,
don't think
Sylas.
so.
You're a fucking Yorkshirean. You come from where they say tis.
Oh, he's calling you out. You're a little beta cuck bitch, aren't you, Sylas? Good boy. Sorry, I'm fucking. My brain's been deep fried in fried rice.
I've literally broken him. I literally gave him a lobotomy before this.
It was
Little
bad.
Pre
It was
podcast
bad.
lobotomy. Just went up in his nose, went whoop. That's the frontal lobe.
Yeah.
My bad.
It was
And
bad.
I think you
yeah.
mean. I think you mean frontal lobe. You fucking Yorkshirean.
You guys didn't see it, but I just saw Silas reach for his iconic British knife that he forgot he had. He just instinctually started
Yeah,
reaching
he
for
just
it.
has he just has like a karambit just in his house.
My dad has a weird
Dude,
fascination with
that's
really
right,
sharp
that one
knives,
guy.
and he has like this really professional knife sharpening kit, and he has this big ass butcher knife that I'm not joking. Like the other day, I was washing dishes, and I took a sponge and I was cleaning the blade, and it literally sliced a giant chunk of the sponge off and went straight through my finger.
What,
Did I say this happened the other
which way were
day?
you
That's not even true. This happened
Wait.
like a year ago, so I don't know why I said that. but-
Wait, what? Did you wash it with a sponge on the opposite side of the blade, right?
Mhm.
So how did it cut through on the blunt side of the?
No, I cut.
No,
What?
on the sharp side.
Wait, why were you
like you take one of those
washing it on the
soft
sharp
sponges
side?
and you can like fold it over the sharp edge so that
Yeah,
it's clean on either side. I'm imagining that's what
Well,
you
you
did.
you fold it on
Yeah.
the blunt side, don't you? Because then you don't cut it, no, don't slice through it.
But then you don't get the edge. You don't get that clean then.
You do, but you cover on a parallel surface.
Cover on a parallel surface. What?
So so
I
as
think-
you parallel to the blade, you're not wrapping around the blade. You wrap around the blunt side, and you go over the blade.
But it depends on
That
how
way you
big
don't-
the blade is.
Yeah.
It does depend on size, Brody. That is true.
Size matters.
Also, you just
Size matters.
if you go across the blade like that, then you can actually like get the edge. You can
Blade
clean
Runner.
that.
That's a good movie. Pertlight. Good stuff. That actually segments straight into the topic for today's episode.
No, it didn't. Not even
That's
remotely.
right.
But I like the I
Ryan
like the
Gosling's
effort.
favorite video game, Halo. We are going to be discussing the Halo TV series and how to make
The
a
best
good one.
TV
We're gonna
series.
build from the ground up. Okay. From
Yeah,
the
we're not
ground
ripping
up,
this from
we're gonna make
Actman.
it.
Actman didn't. He stole this
No.
from us.
Yeah,
actually.
no.
I didn't just see this in my feed and was like, that's a good idea.
Well, you should have
No,
seen it because
I thought
Actman
this-
actually came to my house.
Fine.
We were on a call when this happened. Do you guys want me to discuss what happened here? So I was sitting here
Yeah.
joking as I do, and when he walks in, I quickly pulled my pants. I was like, "Actman, whoa!" I brushed my anime hair. I was like, "What are you doing here?" And he came up to me and said, "Well, my child," and then he stuck his tongue in my mouth.
Why
Well,
the
what I
fuck
didn't
is
realize-
Axman sound like Obama? What the fuck?
Hey, I'm white. I
He
can't.
just gave
sound
you
like
Obamacare to the mouth.
But yeah, he stuck his tongue in my mouth, and I didn't realize. I thought he was just making out with me, but I realized he was actually using me. He sucked the idea right out of my mouth, and now he made a video not too long ago, basically talking about how to fix the how to fix the Halo TV series, and he basically stole all my ideas, which I don't really appreciate. I mean, it's fine, I guess. It's okay, dude.
Dumbest fucking bit.
It's not the dumbest bit. We've done a lot worse.
No,
was
no,
good.
this is actually this took a lot of thought. It's not even dumb. The worst part is it's a smart bit, but it's not.
It's not
It's not-
smart.
yeah.
Don't call that
It's-
smart. That was not even remotely
It
smart.
was smart, but it wasn't smart. You used
That was
knowledge in a
literally
bad
Fallout
way.
New Vegas zero intelligence run level fucking like that was so dumb, Silas. You can't.
Yeah.
Hey man, you can still complete Fallout New Vegas with zero intelligence. That says a lot.
You can. You're gonna have
Well-
a hell of a time.
I haven't seen it. Brody, have you seen that video?
No.
Have you seen it entirely, Pella? Or is it?
Yeah, I fucking love Act Man. If
What-
there was,
what
I would
video?
love to.
Video.
I lo-
Oh, that Axman video. Yeah, no, I've seen that.
I'm the only one who hasn't seen it, so I'm going in completely untouched.
I mean,
Cringe.
when I say that he did all the things that I thought of, that's not entirely true. I actually had different ideas. I like his approach though.
What
If
did
you
he
don't
do?
know, well, I was gonna say he
Give us a
thought-
brief, yeah.
Yeah, so he basically wanted to fully adapt the entirety of Halo CE to be the first season of Halo, the first Halo season. I'm sorry, did I fucking just say the
Yeah,
exact
yeah.
same thing twice?
No, that
Sorry,
makes
my
sense.
brain's fried.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
I think you did.
Halo CE for the whole entire first
season one would literally be
just Halo CE.
1. Yeah,
it would be just recreated perfectly, almost 1-to-1. But he added a few things, changed a few things here and there because he felt like it needed to be changed in order to add some depth.
I liked his idea of changing the names of each episode to the names of the missions.
Yes,
I like that. I want there to actually be a mission called Two Betrayals. That's awesome.
Well, because here's how I see it, and I like where he's coming from. I see TV shows or just any sort of adaptation of a video game is just naturally not going to work in my eyes, and I'll explain why.
Yeah.
I am adamantly against adapting video games to other mediums because video games are literally the most, like, it's just the best medium to do anything. To do literally any stories, any sort of story. Because you're interacting with it. You're engaged with it. You can't do that with movies, but you get visuals, and books, you just have to go off the words. I'm not saying those mediums are bad, but it's like, I don't really think there's anything to go after video games. Like, that is the peak of mediums in terms of interactivity. So taking away the interactivity from video games, you're actively making the medium, or you're making whatever you're adapting worse. You're just like, look at the Last of Us show. I thought the Last of Us show was really good, and they made some changes that I actually liked more. The problem I had with it is, at the end of the day, why the fuck would I watch the show when I can play the game? It's right there, and I can interact with it, and I feel like I'm Joel then. I relate to Joel more by just playing as him than watching a guy on a screen.
Which Pedro, innit?
Which is why I think if you're going to do an adaptation for a show, you're doing it for one of two reasons. And this is why I always get annoyed when people talk about, like, you know, video game adaptations not being accurate to the source material. It's like you're either adapting it so that a new audience can engage with that without having to play the video game, which I like that idea. Although it's like
Never
at that
works.
point, then you can't change anything. You literally have to keep it the same then, because as soon as you change shit, then not everyone's on the same page, and it's just not as fun anymore. So you have that option.
Yeah.
Or you do something entirely new so that everyone can relate to this one thing, which is what I like. And I think that more shows, and that's what the Halo show should have done. Apologies. It should have taken place, in my eyes, it should have taken place either on Reach, or it should have taken place after the Human Covenant War, before Halo 4.
But Pertlight, it's Silver Team.
That's another thing. I've actually...
That's not an excuse.
I talked about this with Jig before, and what I came up with is something along the lines of keep Blue Team, and it would be essentially... I had two ideas. So this is one where basically I change a bunch of shit so that it's fresh. But it's basically like a retelling of the events on Reach, but from Master Chief's perspective. So it's basically the Fall of Reach book, but adapted into a visual form.
Right, yeah.
Because if you do that, then it works in my eyes, because you're adapting a book into a film. You're not adapting the video game at that point, and that works because you're adapting it to a medium that is naturally more.
That's actually a decent way to make a TV show is to take what is already in the games, take the story, but don't just like flat out retell the story.
I'm not even just gonna
retell the story from a no. Retell the story from a different perspective. The Fall of Reach in Halo Reach is entirely told through Noble Six's eyes.
Well, the thing is,
give us that story. Give us the story of the Fall of Reach from someone else's eyes, Master Chief.
The Fall of Reach book is that exact story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so okay. I just wanted to make sure you knew. Which is why I said just adapt that story at that point, because then that works because you're adapting it to a medium that is not necessarily better, but it fulfills more senses, which is the whole idea. You get to have, because every medium has an addition to it. Like books are like base level. You can't get much more than that. Comics add a visual, but it's a small visual. It doesn't really hide much more than just this is what it's supposed to look like. And then above that, you have movies, TV shows. It's the visuals carry a lot of the weight. The audio carries a lot of the weight because it adds more to the senses. It helps tell the story in a way that a book simply can't. And then you have video games, in my opinion, is the peak. You can never, because at that point you're literally taking away from it. You're de-evolving it at that point, and that's not natural. That's what I think. It's so like you never ever see a video game get a proper book adaptation except for fucking Halo. That is the only series that did it, and it did it with the first Halo game, and that was the only one. And that's because it was brand new, and there was a lot of internal monologue that Chief could have had, and a lot of missions that we didn't see go down. So it was an interesting perspective to see. But anyways,
yeah, there was more to add.
yeah. So
and they just added that.
Yeah, it was literally just like context. Here's some context. Here's some characters that you did not see in the game, and that worked. So what I would do personally is I would make the show just not have anything to do with any of the games, have it take place on Reach, have it immediately after the Spartan program, have it about 2 Spartan 2 teams, or not about 2 teams. It's basically about Master Chief learning to become a leader. He does not feel like he fits the role properly. We don't see his face, by the way. None of the Spartans show their fucking faces ever. That is a rule I'm making for the first season. For the first season, we could do it later on, fine. But first season, we do not show his face.
Chief, though.
No, none of the Spartans. None of the Spartans for the first season. None of the Spartans.
I mean, like, not in the first season. I think sure in the other seasons, like, you know, show him like in what was it, Forward Unto Dawn. Forward Unto Dawn. There we go. Yeah, and it shows like all the, you know, that actually did it perfectly. I don't know if you guys seen obviously Halo Forward Unto Dawn, but at the end in the helicopter thing, yeah, when they would take off their helmets, like each Master Chief should take off his helmet, like even something like that, and you know, like it's good. That
scene always weirded me out because those guys, the Spartans, I don't know how they did, but all those like they looked like literal children in my memory. I know they didn't.
Yeah.
But the people playing the Spartans had like actual kid faces. I know they're supposed to because this was like really early Spartan program armor and everything, so it worked. It was just really funny. But anyways, going back. So what it would be is it would basically be about Master Chief learning to become a leader, while we're also meeting these 3 other Spartans, that being Fred, Kelly, and Linda, which are blue team, not fucking silver team. If you thought that was a good idea, I hope you rot in hell, you piece of shit. Please end your life. Anyways.
But what about Osiris? Oh my god, Locke.
Well, actually, I had an idea here, and it can go one of 2 ways.
Don't bring him in.
No,
don't bring Osiris.
Just hear me. We could do one of 3 things here. We could I also wanted to have an opposition team, like a team of Spartans that are kind of rivals, but like in a friendly kind of way. And I had 3 ideas for this. 1, Osiris as a friendly nod to Halo 5, because I think that's funny. 2, we have the team be called Silver Team as a way to kind of keep that idea, and we can keep all the characters from the the shitty Halo show, except for Master Chief, obviously. Actually, you can keep Master Chief, just give him a new name. Or, and this is what I thought would be a fun idea, and I thought this would be cool, make it Noble Team. I know.
No, dude, you need to make no. You need to make it Red Team, so it's like Red versus Blue guys.
Actually, that's not even a bad. That's not even a bad idea. Like that's actually a good idea.
Noble Team. Yeah, that would be sick, man.
I actually think I'm a genius. But the idea of Noble Team. Yeah, I can see that.
Well, I haven't read the book. Before we go any further, I haven't read the full Reach book. Does any like medium at all show an interaction or like anything between Noble Six and Master Chief? Has that ever happened?
Noble Team is not in the book.
Is it not? Not at all.
Noble Team is a retcon. They literally made the entirety of the Halo Reach video game is a massive fucking retcon. I'm not even joking. If you read the book and then read that, like things just do. Now there have been people who have actually linked the book and the story so that they can both coexist. But like before, people were like literally stretching the story thin by doing this. It was just a huge retcon. Now, to be fair, I'm all for that
because you say would be canon? What would
it's totally up to interpretation, but I personally, because there's 3 ways to look at it. You can go with the 2 ways that I think Bungie intended, which is you have the book and then you have the video game, which they themselves said video games always come first. So, I mean, there's that. But you got someone like me who's looked at the lore and I've watched a lot of videos of people doing lore dumps and shit, in which they actually found a way to connect both of the book and the game and match it up. That's what I like. I like that lore because it works really cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, back on track, I would have it just simply be about the fall of Reach. And so it starts off slowly with them, the Covenant finally find Reach. We get to introduce the Covenant in a way that's scary. We'll see them, and we don't introduce the Covenant until mid-season.
Space Coalition.
Well, you're gonna have like insurrectionists and all that stuff.
Yes, the insurrectionists take up the priority
Yeah, I like
because
that.
that allows us to develop the characters and the Spartans and all of that. And we might do the Covenant earlier, maybe make it episode 3 of like a
No, yeah. We gotta have some
Yeah.
insurrectionists and give them AK-47s.
Oh, fuck off.
Can I be honest? I'm gonna throw something in here. I'm gonna throw something. This could be really just whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
What if we get rid of what if we had I don't know how to word this or like properly say this, right? But was Sergeant Johnson at all on Full of Reach? Was that anything like any of the Spartan ones? Was that not?
Wait, say that again?
Sergeant Johnson and all that stuff.
Typing.
You know, like Spartan ones and all that. Were they actually present on Reach as well, or because I haven't.
There we go. Sorry, I was fixing my audio. So Spartan ones, Johnson was on Reach.
Was he?
Yeah, no, he definitely was. I don't remember. I don't remember if he like had a major impact on the original book though. I don't remember that. It's been years. I was in fucking 6th grade when I read The Fall of Reach, so this has been years. But I don't think he was in it.
Because I was wondering, right? What if we had it? Okay, if we had all the seasons, right?
Fuck.
And at the first episode of every season, you have like at the first, well, maybe at the beginning of it for like what 20 minutes or something for every season, it's gonna be a scene of basically the Fall of Reach, and you've got all these, spawns, whatever, and you got these teams. It's like in the first season, you got these teams, showing blue team and interact with everybody, and as it goes to blue team, then it cuts back, and then the whole season is everything before that. Like the main things about blue team and other missions and that. Then at the end, it leads to the Reach bit. Then it passes on to another team or whatever, or like some other characters.
Yeah.
Goes back, and then like the last season of the thing, you go to the actual Reach thing itself. So it's all built up. You know all the characters, and you're at Reach, and then you feel the actual effect of the Fall of Reach. That's what I was thinking, but I don't know. I was thinking.
So you're saying
Your funking is working.
so you're saying that each episode you follow a different character, or are you just saying like
So at the big one season. So let's say season 1.
Yeah.
Is blue team, but the first episode of that. So everything to kick off a season. The first episode has about 30 minutes of footage from the Fall of Reach. Then so it shows the whole thing. Then it primarily focuses on this blue team. Then it shows a whole season of blue team. At the end of that season, it cuts back to like the Fall of Reach, and then it passes on, kind of like it nods to another team. The next season, you've got again 30 minutes in the first episode about that at the Fall of Reach, and then so it fleshes out the characters for the whole season. So you're not dragging out the whole Fall of Reach, but it kind of shows it.
I don't know. I think the Fall of Reach would be just a great first season as a whole. I think that's all you need for it. Yeah, absolutely. That is such an interesting conflict because it literally was this was humanity's biggest loss in the war, and that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah.
You could also do Harvest.
Yeah, no, humanity had victories and losses before this, but this was like the big thing.
Mostly
that was like,
losses.
okay, this. Yeah, no, this was a big fuck up. This went really bad.
Yeah,
we need to change immediately if we're going to win this.
Also, I checked my bookshelf, and I actually have one of the original Halo books right here. I forgot I had.
I got that one.
Oh, you have First Strike? Hell yeah! I haven't read this one.
I have First Strike in my room.
Yeah,
I haven't. I've got that one and Ghost of Onyx and all that.
Oh yeah.
So what you're telling me is that you actually own the sacred text.
Yeah, so
and I got a couple of the 343 era ones, unfortunately.
I'm sorry. I have I have the Halo Infinite.
I read.
I'm sorry.
I read. I think there's 2 of them, but I read one, and I didn't mind. It was actually alright to read, but it was just.
I just don't like.
I just don't like the whole. I just don't like the whole concept. Yeah, I don't like the whole concept of humans aren't foreigners.
I'm not going to get into this. I'm not going to get into this. That's going to make me really mad. Let's just move on because I always get really fucking angry about it.
No.
Because humans are forerunners.
Right now.
Humans are forerunners. That's what it is. If you disagree, you're a fucking idiot.
Forerunner as well.
Yeah, Forerunner doesn't make fucking sense if you take away the human aspect. It literally just doesn't work. It's like, what the fuck are you the Forerunner of? A fucking, like, dead race? Like, oh, wow. It's fucking stupid. Anyone who thinks that's a good idea should genuinely, like, wholeheartedly, like, you should not work in the writing industry. You don't understand what good writing is. You just don't. So leave. Let someone else who actually knows a good thing about writing take over your role and go work at a different place. I'm not saying you deserve to die. I don't think you do. It's just, it's bad writing.
It's rare. It's rare to find good writers because that's the whole reason why this whole show's been greenlit and all that stuff. Because we've had 343 who's come along, done crap writing for the games, and they go, okay, you know what? Let's do the same thing, but for the TV adaptation, you know?
Dude, I feel so bad for all the writers who are attached to Infinite. I think they had a good idea. I think they just ran out of time and budget. Like, or not budget.
Yeah.
They definitely ran out of time. I wanted to see if I wish they had gotten like 10 full years to make the game that they wanted to make. And I wish that they had kept their head. I wish they had kept headstrong and been like, "This is what we need to make. We cannot go too far this way or too far that way.
Like
we need to focus."
Open world.
Because and don't make an open world. Don't do that. But anyways, that's Halo Infinite. Let's get back to the show.
No, back to the series. Yeah, sure.
I would have essentially it's about the Spartan blue team, and at the end of the series, this rivaled team, whether it be Noble, Osiris, or Silver, whatever. I think Noble team would be really neat, but there's a reason why I consider not doing Noble team, and that's at the end. It ends with them dying as Reach falls. The end of the first season is now. This is where things get a little controversial, and this is where I change things. I would kill off Fred, and I think Kelly. Kelly's the shotgun one with the EVA helmet, right? So I'd kill off those two. Linda is critically hurt, and she's put on the Pillar of Autumn. Or maybe some other
those
ship.
two
I
just
don't really
L. Right?
Actually, no, I wouldn't even. Yeah, I think I'd kill off every one of the members of Blue Team except for Chief. Chief gets critically injured at one point and is then put on the Pillar of Autumn. I know this is a controversial change, but in my eyes, this Halo TV show should not be connected to the games in basically any way past the original series. So like anything 343 has done, I don't want to connect it to that.
If you're gonna do that though, I want to make even more bolder claim, and that you can shoot this idea down straight away because I think it should do. But I'm gonna put it out there though.
Yeah.
So if he's got no team, what if lay down the track? You know, the Spartan, what is it, Spartan full program?
Yeah.
What if he, Chief's, the older, kind of hunk, and he's getting this fresh new recruits, and Locke is in his team. What if Locke is under his wing?
I totally am all for that. I think that's a cool idea. I think Locke needed something like that to make him interesting, because then it would be cool.
Like him. Because,
yeah.
Like, isn't that, I don't know what it was now. What was that? There was the one movie with him in it, which I actually didn't mind. Like, because I liked his character.
Don't say Nightfall.
I was like...
Don't say Nightfall. Don't say Halo Nightfall. Don't say it.
That one about the lava place, and then,
oh my God.
I like Locke's character though.
Halo Nightfall wasn't awful. It was very forgettable, and I hated the fact that they had like the coolest ODST armor. They finally made a live action ODST armor for like a movie / like TV show, and then they immediately took it off. And it's like, I hope
they took it off.
I hope anyone who decided that was a good idea, I hope you genuinely have a terrible night of rest.
But the thing is, what I was trying to get through is just the fact that Locke can actually be a likable character. I think it's just the fact that they ruined him.
No, it's just the Halo 5 writing.
Really?
Brian Reed is a fucking moron.
He's actually capable of being a half-decent character. Whoa.
Frank O'Connor and Brian Reed should be blacklisted from the industry and never allowed to write for anything again. I've said this before. Frank O'Connor's a fucking blubbering idiot who does not know what good writing is. Brian Reed has shown by making Halo 5 that good writing is not something he can do. At least not for sci-fi. Maybe he could do better, I don't know. But he clearly cannot write for Halo. That he was never a good choice. And this is why I said before, I think Halo Infinite, what would have worked with it is that they just started anew completely. Stop with this fucking bullshit. Oh, we're going to show you. It's like, no, just reboot. Reboot the franchise. Or just start after Halo 3. I don't fucking care. Just
try again.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the whole he can't do sci-fi. I think it's just he can't do Halo. It's such a... There's no other franchise, no matter what people say, there's no other franchise like it in its way, where it's got such a backing of like lore and that in books, however, and also, actually evolving with technology and that. It's especially music, and the music as well with it. There's no other like game with that much, power in the actual soundtracks, especially when it first came out. That was unheard of. Like way back when.
I disagree with that a little bit, but again, we're talking about the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get back. I'm trying to keep on track. It's not your guys' fault. I keep going on track too.
Series though, That needs a good soundtrack. They need some magic. Get
Don't use the
thingy
fucking
in
Halo
there.
theme one goddamn time and then go with the rest of the fucking show. Generic goddamn action tracks. Genuine.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the Halo TV show because it makes me actually angry. It makes me viscerally mad because of how lazy
I want to
it
hear more
was.
about that though. I want to hear more about in terms of your seasons and everything. And so season 1 full of Reach. Talk me through all the characters and per episode or whatever. Who would it focus on?
So okay,
You know?
the first 2 to 3 episodes is all insurrectionists. That's what the Spartans are training for, and they are actually. You know what? Before I talk about that, I have an idea here. Blue team is comprised of not just Fred, Kelly, and Linda, but we're also going to add in 3 other Spartans. We'll call them Spartan 1, 2, and 3. I don't really care because you'll see why in a minute. But anyways, back to what I was saying.
Greg, and Greg.
Yeah. So the first episode is basically just it starts off with basically just the insurrection in the UNSC, and at one point the UNSC talks to fucking Dr. Halsey, and Dr. Halsey's like, "Well, I may have an idea for what may be able to turn the tide of war." At the end of the episode, after we establish all this shit, we establish the world, we establish where we are, who the enemy is, who the good guys are, and then at the very end, we can establish that the good guys are kind of not great themselves, with Dr. Halsey basically walking into a lab, and then she presses a button, shutters open, and we see a bunch of kids in sleeping pods, obviously being the Spartans. After this happens, the next episode starts with the kids training, and I mean brutally training. I want to see them get beaten. I want to see them get horribly mistreated. It should make a parent cry from how horribly these kids are treated.
Do you know? But you know what they need to have in it? They need to have. They need to have that ODST beat scene. I'm sorry,
but we'll get to that in a second, Sylas.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
Brody, what were you saying?
You just go, no, I want to see these kids crying. Like, bro, you okay?
The parents cry, bro. You come and get it right,
like the treatment that the Spartans went through was genuinely gut wrenching. It is horrifying.
Yeah, no.
The comics,
yeah,
or the comics, the books, whatever.
I know.
And what would happen is
it is genuinely horrific.
It would go through 2 years, or however long you need it to go through. And what would happen is, the kids, they get their augmentations, and the second episode, the entire episode's about these kids, and the entire second episode is just about them getting to the point, and then it ends with basically pretty much all of the kids, either, like half of the kids who were in this program just died from the augmentations. They got horribly killed.
Half.
More than half?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 75%.
I like that.
Yeah.
Was it 75? I thought it was half.
I thought it was more than half. I thought it was like, wait, let me have a look. Maybe you're right. Maybe
I thought it was 50%, like almost on the
maybe I'm
dot.
projecting.
Well, either way, whatever it is, we can cut off. I'm more than happy with making 75%, make it more of a big deal, and have them get their armor. It ends with Master Chief. At this point, for the rest of the season, we do not see his face from this point on. We see him as a child here and there. We don't see like a really good look at his face, but we see little clips here and there. And it ends with him. And we also see during this entire episode, was I right?
30 out of 75. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So the entire episode is just them training, and we see Chief being a natural leader, just like natural. He's not the best, he's not, but he has luck on his side, and he knows how to lead people. He inspires all the other Spartans. He makes them better. Maybe have a point where one of the kids is like, they're hiding under a tree, because there is a scene, and it's one of my favorite scenes in the fucking lore. It is so good. It's such a cool scene when they're basically, before they're augmented, basically these Spartans are just dropped in a forest.
They're dropped, yeah.
And if I remember correctly,
fucking
they were literally
actual like Spartan style,
but they were still kids. This was before augmentations and anything. They didn't have any actual weapons or anything. So what it was is they were all dropped in the middle of this forest, and I think it was something like the first few people to get to the evacuation or whatever, they get to leave and get food. And what John did, because there were security guards walking around with batons that would beat them if they saw them. So John, he got all of the kids together. He didn't have to. He did this anyways, if I remember correctly. He gets them all together and says, this is what we're going to do. We're all going to rush those guards over there who are going to try and stop us. We're going to kick their fucking ass. And then we're going to get on that ship. We're all going to go home at the same time. And I'm going to lead the charge. And it is a great moment. I want to see that scene in live action. That would be great to see John show that natural leadership. He doesn't have to be confident in his abilities to be a leader. He should question that naturally. You know, he shouldn't.
Yeah.
He should not feel comfortable in this role, but it naturally comes to
A
him.
good leader genuinely should question themselves as a
Exactly.
leader. Yeah.
And so this is the first time that we can see he's a great leader at heart, even if he doesn't trust himself completely. So what happens is
just by nature.
Yeah. So he basically leads the squad, and at the very end of the episode, everyone gets their augmentation. John learns that, you know, so many people died, and he's broken about it, but it ends with him picking up a helmet, and when he puts it on, he turns, and we see the classic fucking Halo CE Mark V. I do not want to see the Mark IV or the Mark V-B, I think is what it was called. Or no, that was from Halo Reach. It was basically before the Mark V and Halo
Delta?
CE. Maybe? It was the one that they see in Halo Wars. It's like the predecessor. It doesn't have shielding, and I just think it's kind of
that's
weird.
Just, is that
Come on,
Mark
guys.
5?
You're supposed to be the Halo nerds.
Isn't it just Mark 5?
No, it's not Mark V. I think it's Mark IV. I'm pretty sure it's Mark IV. But
I thought I remember saying Mark V on the thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Mark.
I'm gonna look this up. Now you've got me.
Yeah,
you got me wondering.
You're probably right again. But do you think also as he's
I was
walking
right. It's
by
Mark
and all
IV.
these people, Mark IV, cool. So as they're walking by, right? What if as he's going towards his arm, whatever, at the end, but he's walking through this because obviously the pods are on each side of this pathway in the place. What if each as he's walking by, he sees all the kids just dead in the pod because they were they died obviously in the pods, and you have one right at the end. You have one right at the end. He looks at, and if somebody was attached to that forest bit, the one person who actually
having one of the kids that we see.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
But there's one where he was listen to him or something, or someone who's
have it be multiple kids. Have it be multiple kids.
Yeah.
And we don't ever get their names. We only see the numbers on their the patches. So if you don't know what Kelly, Linda, and Fred's numbers are, you don't know who they are. And maybe have a few fake outs where it's you have a few kids who are they talk to Chief and they're like, hey, I got this idea, and Chief's like, I like that idea. We're gonna go with that. And then at the end, he walks past all these pods full of dead kids, and all of them are about to get sent to an incinerator because no one can find the evidence that these kids are still alive.
No.
And so he sees the last few of them. He just recognizes the kids, and it breaks him a little bit, but he knows he can't show pain.
And
yeah,
can't afford to.
And it ends with him putting on the armor, and we see the classic Mark V. And so what would happen after that is that's when the third episode happens, and that's when we see the fight against the insurrectionists take place with the Spartans. Spartans kick their fucking ass. It's a cool scene. Maybe have the UNSC forces struggling at first, and then the Spartans come in, and it's instant. Maybe have a scene where
turn
multiple
the tides.
and we see specifically blue team. That's the ones I want to focus on because there should be the big fucking name. I want to see.
Wait, question again. Sorry, I'm testing your knowledge again.
No, you're good.
ODSTs. When was ODST established? Is that way before Spawn Program?
ODST as in the game, or as in the characters?
No. The
the lore.
ODSTs.
Okay. That was established way before the Spartans.
So do you think what it should be is you got the people struggling or whatever, and you got these people dropping in ODSTs, and they're there, and then they're some of the butt ass is whooped, and then you just have them, and it just shows the height comparison between him, and then it zooms up like down angle, and it zooms up to John. It's next to it. There's small ODST guy.
That'd be kind of cool. That's another thing actually. You know how Kratos in the newest God of Wars is played by a massive dude, huge.
Yeah.
I want that guy to play Chief. I don't give a shit. I know someone's gonna be like, "Well, Chief's not black." I don't give a shit. It's acting, you dumbhead, fucking bitch.
Kratos isn't black.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I've been saying that for fucking years. Why did we not get this guy to play Chief? He has the voice for it too. He has a cool fucking deep raspy voice. He would be the perfect fucking guy. Why the fuck did we get this white guy, this crusty ass fucking 6 foot fucking white guy to play him?
Yeah.
We had the 7 foot
7 foot
behemoth
man.
with the perfect fucking everything. Oh, it's because he takes off his helmet in every other fucking scene. Sorry, I just spit. I'm angry.
But we don't need him to take off his helmet. And
exactly. I'm looking this guy up.
You know what? Even if he took over some, I wouldn't even mind a black chief.
The black guy?
Yeah.
It's Christopher Judge.
Christopher Joe.
Yeah.
Christopher Judge, yeah. I remember him.
I just want to say him. Would you even mind a black chief though? To be honest with you, if he's got this the same build and everything, Like,
I don't like black.
Oh, he's only 6'3"? I thought he was like 7 foot tall.
Wait, what?
That blows my
No,
mind.
he's not that massive.
What's
But
his
he is.
name? Christopher
I
what?
mean, 6'3" is still tall.
No, it's still tall. I just thought he was like 7
What's
foot.
his name?
Yeah,
It
no,
is-
he's not a behemoth, but he does have the voice of a behemoth.
Yeah, it's Christopher Judge, and he's
Yeah.
fucking scary, and that's what Chief should be. And
Oh, this guy.
regarding making
Yeah,
him
but
black,
I've heard stories that he's like a really, really humble, lovely guy, though.
yeah,
Oh, he seems really nice.
I would rather have only because I want to stick to
Right.
continuity. I'd rather have him just stay the same character. But in terms of when he's wearing that suit, I don't give a shit. He's played by Anakin Skywalker was voiced.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Or not. Sorry, Darth Vader was voiced by a black man.
James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's like I don't
love
give a
James Earl
shit.
Jones.
Whenever it's a masked character, I don't care who plays him at that point.
Yeah,
Just-
I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, just keep it consistent when he takes off the mask, which we're not going to see because I don't want to see
You know-
that in this character.
You know who's a good
Yeah.
actor though? Oh, I don't know. That's a bit of a hot take. You know,
your mother.
I don't know if you'd play well. David Bautista. Maybe that's crazy, but he is a good actor. He was, obviously he's Drax, but he plays really good. Like he hasn't actually had good roles to shine, and like he can act because you can see in Blade
how do you
Runner
spell his
even at the
name?
beginning. Bautista. I don't know how you spell it. Just type in what you think and it'll come up. David
Oh.
Bautista. But like, he looks like a war torn chief kind of thing, you know?
I got a baseball player.
What?
This is not right.
How do you spell David Bautista?
Oh,
it's
wait. No, I found it.
B-A-U.
It's Dave Bautista, not Danny. Did you say Dave?
I said Dave.
Yeah, I typed in Danny. I guess I'm an idiot. My only thing, isn't he short?
Looking at
Oh, he's 6'4". He's
might be
taller.
yeah, but if you look as well like him now, he looks more older. I would rather like an older looking chief than like a young guy.
No, I just don't know. I like a Judge's voice better. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I
think
don't know
his
about
voice
it.
fit
I haven't
better.
heard his
Yeah,
voice.
no, Judge's voice is great.
Listen
Judge has a great
listen
voice.
just to Ragnarok, God of War, fucking
Yeah.
Kratos.
Oh wait, is he the actual voice of the
Yeah,
game?
no, he's the
Yeah,
actor
okay.
who plays
Yeah,
Kratos,
he's the voice,
100%. The only difference is the model has
Yeah.
changed. That's literally it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that would be cool then.
yeah. I love his voice, and I would love to hear it as Master Chief because I think the voice fits almost perfectly. He has the body
Yeah, no, I
proportions
think he
of
could do
Chief.
it.
He's a fucking giant behemoth man, and that's what Chief should be. But anyways, so the scene, most of this episode is just about them just decimating insurrectionist forces, and we finally see the UNSC get a foothold. We see them doing well. And, we have this, maybe you have the UNSC at the beginning of the episode. They're struggling to fight off these insurrectionists. And then the Spartans land. And you just
Yeah,
see
and
one of
then-
them stand up. And so you have this ODST behind a barrier, pointing a gun at someone
Yeah.
while the insurrectionist is looking at him. And then as, the Spartan lands between them. And as he stands up, first it's like, oh, he stands up and he's about the height of the ODC. And then he keeps rising because you realize he didn't stand
Yeah.
up completely. He's only like halfway.
Yeah.
And so he
He's just crouching
stands
down,
up.
yeah.
And the camera's following him as he gets fucking huge. And the guy's shaking. And the Spartan walks over.
No, the guy
grabs his
I
head
just want to
and
see an ODST's first reaction, like the whole like squad of ODSTs, because it'll be the first time anybody's ever seen it, because obviously
Yeah.
it's classified. So just the first time they see just a hulking,
There's don't worry, I'm getting to it. So
Behemoth.
as he, as this fucking insurrectionist is in fear, it's John, by the way. I want John to get the first kill. He walks over, grabs insurrectionist's head, lifts it up, and just crushes it with one. And I want it to explode. This guy
I
dies
wanted gore in this
horribly.
though. This is his hot take. But I wanted to be MA this series for sure.
Well, that's
I'm tired
that's
of
the
whole-
one thing that I can say I liked about the Halo series, or the Halo TV series, even though the way they did it kind of felt gratuitous and a little too much. I think there was gore, and I liked that. I'm glad
Was there
they.
gore?
Oh, there was gore. There was a lot of gore. And some of it felt gratuitous, but like there's a scene where Master Chief gets mad and punches an elite in the head to the point where you just see it become mush, and it's like that's just like unnecessary. We don't need that
That's
in Master Chief.
not even Chief. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something Chief. Well, the show doesn't
Like-
depict Chief at all correctly, except for like the
No,
first. Like,
obviously.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
not Chief. Yeah.
But you know that whole what's that short web series thing? You know the one on YouTube about what promoted Halo 3 or whatever it was?
there's a lot of. There's a bunch of them.
You know the one where they're like in the Warthog?
Landfall.
Landfall, yeah.
Landfall
yeah.
fucking rocks.
And he's got
I wanna
like
see
the
a whole movie
needler.
like that. Yes.
Like the needler, and yeah, that's what I want to
was a
see, like
spiker.
spikes and actual people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see stuff like that. Oh yeah, from the bridge. Yeah,
I know
yeah,
my
bridge.
Halo lore. It was a
Sorry,
spider.
sorry.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, you're
To be
right,
clear, that scene is so fucking visceral. I have trouble watching because it is so. It shoots him in the thigh, and it is this massive needle. It's just like, or no, I think
You
does
can
it hit him in the gut
yeah.
actually?
I
It
think
hits
it's
him
his
like
gut. Yeah,
it
no, I'm pretty
almost
sure
hits him in the
it's-
groin, and it's just like, you know.
Yeah,
But yes, I want something like
that
that.
would
But
be sick.
anyway, so
Yeah.
after he crushes the guy's head, one of the ODSTs look at the other guy, says, "Sir, do we open fire?" And he says, "No, he's tagged as friendly." And then we just see the other two Spartans land, Fred, Kelly, and then we see more, Linda, Greg 1,
All
Greg
lining
2,
up.
and Steve 3, all these big fucking
Yeah,
force of
and
Spartans.
then we get the fucking like Transformers theme.
Yeah, just some fuck. Or, no, not even that. We get the fucking classic Halo theme, which we haven't heard up until this point. We hear, oh, and then you just see Chief pull out his gun, and they just
What?
fucking annihilate the
You know,
insurrectionists.
okay, this might be another one, but before you can, what if instead it was like the Gregorian monk thing? What if it was actually just like I don't know how to explain it. You know, like Lord of the Rings. You know, the Lord of the Rings theme song. That kind of deep thing. What if it was that, but like in that deep tone first? Kind of like
You're wrong.
You know what you could have done
No,
instead of
but
doing
like
the monk part?
just
You can basically just do the Mjolnir mix from Halo 2, the with the fucking guitar,
I think that might like
That might be a
later
little
on,
too
I think this is,
corny.
like, because it's gonna be it's quite a moment you want to kind of capture where you're like, okay, like you want it to be kind of like serious. So, like with the monk thing, it is good, but I want like a kind of deeper, like kind of
You could
version of
also, depending on how you play it, you can make it sound more eerie and have it start playing as Chief's lifting the guy's head up. And then when he crushes it, that's when we hear and then just, as he says, they're
just
tagged
like,
as friendly. And right as he starts to
yeah.
run, we hear the dun-dun-dun-dun, and then he just, again, I want you to see these Spartans, what they can do to the average person. We didn't get that in the series. I don't know why you wouldn't show that, because now we don't know how strong a fucking Spartan can be. We see, like, there's one moment.
Yeah, no.
It's the only good
You're
fucking
only
scene.
analog. Your only analog
It's not
for
fun.
how strong a Spartan is comparing it to an elite.
Yeah,
Or
which we don't know what how
Just
fucking strong an elite is either.
No, because we live in the real world where they aren't real things. So
There's
but
one
if you
scene.
put a Spartan against a human, against a human, we get a genuine analog of okay, that's how
You
intimidating.
need
you
to
are.
set a tone, like as in you need some sort of point of relation, because if not, the whole like you get that with especially the TV series. You need something that makes it real. Like you need to go, okay, this is okay, because at the moment, like with the series, it's no point comparison. No comparison where it's like he can smush his brain, big tent guy has got teeth like that.
Whoa,
Okay,
smush his
and
brain.
that little small guy sniffs methane. It's like well.
But this is one of the things that I want to get this down. So, like, the one thing the Halo TV series got right is one scene, and I do mean literally it was one scene. That's all the things that they got right.
That's all they got.
That and I think there was something I said earlier. There was one thing I said earlier. I don't remember what it was.
Gore?
Yes, gore. Thank you. It was like that. The amount of gore, I think, was a little gratuitous, but gore existing in the first place. So that's A. And then B, this is the last thing, is the fact that there's one scene where, and this happens almost at the end of the series, which is why it pissed me off so much, where we see one of the Spartans, not Chief, it was the girl one, without any armor, without any ability, she's lifting up a warthog with several, like, Marines on it, cheering her on, as she's pulling it with a chain. And it's a fun, cute little scene. It's the only scene in the entire fucking series that works. I'm not even joking. Because we finally get to see, oh, wow. So Spartans can lift up a warthog with no issue. Yeah. I hate this excuse of, if you played the games, you'd know. It's like, well, this isn't a game. It's retconning a bunch of shit from the game. So clearly, it's new. So how we don't know.
You know what it should be like? Sorry, no, continue first. I'll let you continue because you're on.
Oh, I was going to just continue with the episode and everything after this.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a bit like, I don't know if you guys obviously have the same thing, but whenever you watch some sort of, like, even though they're terrible, but I'm not really much of a DC fan, but whenever I watch one, right, and there's Superman in it, you go, okay, Superman is, OP as, it's kind of obvious. It's made of, he's flying around, whatever. Obviously not to that extent,
I
but at
can't
least
wait for yet another Sylas awful hot take. Please
Oh, of
continue.
course. But like I said, as soon as they said it, where they go, okay, this dude is, obviously Kryptonian, is ridiculous. I want that, like, as you said, like with that scene, when they all drop in, I want it like known, like almost instantaneous when they set their presence. You go, all right, this is like basically the Superman of this, the UNSC.
That's why I want to see the scene where Master Chief crushes the insurrectionist's head.
Yeah,
it needs to be established.
I want him to tank some bullets and things.
Yes,
things
and
like
immediately all the insurrectionists open fire.
It.
Yeah, all the insurrectionists open fire. And so, and then I also, this would be kind of cool, but after he throws the body to the ground, maybe have one of the other Spartans pick up a giant, like, piece of, like, debris of, like, concrete and throw it at a wall and have it literally just, it decimates 2 insurrectionists. And, like, and I mean, it literally turns them into a red mist. Just something like, I want to establish Spartans are fucking strong. There is a scene in one of the books, sadly it's a 3-for-3 book, so it's stupid, but there's a scene in one of the books where Master Chief jumps onto a Banshee and then punches it so hard it flies to the point where he can't see it anymore. Like, that is the Banshee was mid-flight, if I remember correctly. I mean, he was able to hit it so hard it was going against the Banshee's, momentum and still flew across the goddamn stratosphere. That is God tier. Yeah. So I want to, now I don't want to put it to that point. I want to lower it a little bit, but I want to see these Spartans horribly, like brutally take out these people. These are not people to them.
Yeah,
these are objective to be clear.
Well.
They are just targets to the Spartans.
Well, the one thing is as well with the books, they don't get right with obviously with the games because you can't really show that, but with the books, how fast is Chief and all that? Like, he is ridiculously fast.
Well, that's like, the thing is, Chief's not even the fastest.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, he's not the best at anything other than being the leader. That's the only thing he's really the best at. He's
great for leadership.
And he's lucky. That's something else I want to capture, but I'll get to that in a second. But what happens is I want to establish, I think it was Kelly. I think she's the one who's the fastest because Linda's the best shot, if I remember correctly. So I want, like, the insurrection are like, fuck, we're getting decimated by these fucking robots. We need to get the fuck out of here. So they all pile into this fucking car. It's a knockoff Warthog. I don't want to see fucking repurposed goddamn, Nissan Altima.
It's a Chevy Tahoe.
Yeah.
No, Chevy Tahoe.
No, there's a part where insurrectionists, like the Nazi insurrectionists in the show, were legitimately just driving like brand new Nissans. You need to watch the show, or don't watch the show actually, but yes.
Yeah, no,
Nazis.
I don't want to.
Anyways, but as they're trying to run away, they stop and like, what the fuck? And then in the rearview mirror, you just see one of the Spartans rise up. It's fucking, it's Kelly. She rises up, grabs the truck, and then lifts it overhead and fucking smashes it on the ground. And just
what if there was 2? What if there was 2 of those? So first one, like you said, Kelly smashed it. And what if you just see one with Chief or whatever chasing them, like catching up, chasing them, and then ripping them out of it?
I would not have Chief chase. Again, I want to establish how fast Kelly is through visuals.
Kelly is.
I want Kelly because she's the fastest. I want to show that, not tell the fucking audience. Not have a scene where fucking Dr. Halsey's like, this is Kelly. She's the fastest. And then we see a Suicide Squad montage with all the bright colors going, I'm the fastest and I'm quirky. I don't need that shit. Stop with I want visual storytelling. I want her but I do like that idea. Have 2 trucks. They start to leave. Master Chief catches one. Linda catches the other. She fucking chases it. This thing's going like 90 miles per hour. She still gets to it without any breaking a fucking sweat. No breath exerted. She picks up the truck and fucking slams it on the ground. And all you see is red mist shoot out of the side because how hard it hits the ground. That literally just a red puff comes out.
When you're saying that, when she chases it,
just ignites
if she's chasing this knockoff Warthog, what if she shoulder barges the back wheel, it spins around, then she picks up as they're looking at her, and then smashes it?
Okay, not only is that a good idea, I'm actually going to add a little bit to it. So she shoulder blades it so that it spins, and then with her off hand, the hand that she shoulder blade, she catches it, and with one hand, she picks it up and then slams it with one hand. That would be so fucking cool. But now we spent way too long in this one fight scene. We're gonna move on.
Yeah.
But the one that actually catches, maybe there's an insurrectionist in there that they need to catch for details, for information, and he's like, "You can't get anything out of me." And Master Chief, or maybe we'll have fucking Frank. Or whatever.
Just put in that Black Ops 3 scene. Who cares? He's a fucking terrorist.
What I was gonna do is just have him grab his knee and just crush it, and have the guy
just
start
a compound fracture or something.
Oh my god.
Oh, that'd be vibe. I was gonna see a knee, but you know what we could do? We could do both. Have him snap the knee. Wait. Have him snap the knee and then take the fucking take his thigh, and have like Frank look at him. Is it Frank?
Oh,
I just
thought of the worst thing.
Well, wait. So he grabs the guy's leg, and before he can scream, he covers his mouth, and then he says, "Listen closely and listen well. If you do not tell me what I need to know in the next 10 seconds." I'm going to pop, and then whatever the thigh bone is, the top one, I'm going to pop it out of your skin and shove it into your throat. And then he lifts up
the worst thing though.
Wait.
Sorry to interrupt.
He uncovers his mouth, and the guy, he's explaining to it, but right before he's able to finish the sentence, 10 seconds is up, and he does it anyways. Because he told him 10 seconds. He doesn't play around. God. So he does it anyways.
Yeah. You took too long.
Again, I want to heavily establish in just this one scene. We don't need to see this much gore later on necessarily. I just want to establish what a Spartan can do to a human being. So then when the Covenant is introduced and we see how fucking, like, how much they body Spartans, we see now why they are a threat. Because this is clearly, this is humanity's best. We cannot surpass this. Yeah. So if we see the Covenant killing a Spartan, we've already fucking lost. So that's why I want to establish this. It's not just because gory is cool. It's not that at all. I want to establish that the Spartans are not to be fucking trifled with.
Use an opportunity to establish the power of the Spartans, and then use that later down the line to establish the power of the Covenant.
Thank you.
Don't say, they're 10 times stronger, 10 times stronger.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. I hate that shit. Yeah. Show us. But tell us.
So my idea, what I was saying before, this is going to sound awful. But what if he like rips off his kneecap, and then pulls his shin out, which is obviously attached to his foot, and rips it out from the whole of the kneecap.
That is so nasty. It's so cool.
And then you can just see the flop of like the skin of the foot and just the shin, all that, and the bone is just out. That's like, and he just,
that is so nasty. I don't think that would work. I like the idea of him just popping the the single bone in the thigh, popping it out of the skin, and then taking his head and he doesn't like rip it out. He takes the guy's head and grabs the thigh and basically presses them together so that the bone goes right through the guy's neck. Like, I want this to be fucking horrifying to watch. We should not see Spartans are heroes by the end of this.
Like gently uncomfortable to watch.
Yes.
Like I want that though, like you were saying though, conflict where you're going, this is only like they're doing it but they're not doing it. I want it to be like an actual, they're doing it for a reason but they're not. And then like obviously later down the track you have a twist and go, actually no, it's just batshit crazy. But I want the Spartans also caught up in it where you're going, it's not going, John's good and everything. The best thing about, obviously that ODST or whatever scene is he like, he's not the, he's not the greatest of people. But I think later, I want to see like a journey where he gets older in this series, where he gets more mature. Because obviously he's just a kid. Think about it, he's legit just a kid.
Sorry,
I want him to get older and mature.
Sorry, I apologize for interrupting. It's not Frank, it's Fred. Sorry, that's the name I was trying to remember. It's Fred. He was part of the blue team, but...
Oh wait, were you calling Fred Frank?
Yeah, I was calling him Frank. I was like, that's not his name, and I was trying to remember what it was.
I didn't realize. I was like, Frank O'Connor?
But yeah, so, yes. I want this to establish through visuals. We don't need to see this much human gore again later on. We don't need that. We just need it for this one scene to show. Because it's not going to be
like conflict between them.
Yeah. And afterwards...
A little demonstration.
So, Fred does that, and he sticks the bone to the guy's throat, and he kills him before he can fully finish the sentence. And John looks at Fred, and without saying anything, because John does not need to speak that much, he can keep quiet for most of this.
Yeah.
Fred looks over at him and says, I told him he had 10 seconds. And so what sorry, I just remembered one of the other blue team members was Sam. That's one of the other extra guys that we have. Sorry, that's important.
Sam.
Yes, because I forgot he even existed.
he was sick.
So
I love Sam. Isn't he the one who like sacrificed himself, whatever?
So at the end of the 3rd episode, we get this
Just
sequence.
ignore the question.
No, I pointed to him. Yeah, I was like, yeah, Sylas, because I was like, yep, because we're gonna get to that. So the end of the 3rd episode, now that we've established, the Spartans and what they can do, we fucking established the insurrectionists in the 1st episode. We established the UNSC in the 1st episode. We established how Oni is really creepy and weird in the 1st episode. The 2nd episode established what the Spartans went through and why they're brainwashed and why Oni's kind of a massive piece of shit, but they did what they needed to do to stop the insurrection, which we're never ever gonna treat the insurrectionists as good or bad guys. They're fucking neither.
Yeah,
They're neither. That is so dumb. I hated the fact that the Halo TV show tried to pull that fucking angle. It was stupid. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
We are going to show them as what they fucking are. They're freedom fighters. Yeah. They're gray. Nothing more, nothing less. We don't need anything past that, which the fucking... I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah.
Anyways, after this...
Get into it right now.
I'm not getting into it. I'm not going to... I've already ranted about the Halo show enough. I'm not going to do it.
Before you continue as well, just before you go on, so with you saying grey areas, I also want... What I loved about Halo 2 is the display of the internal conflict of this Empire of the Covenant, right? I wanted that, but it wasn't really expanded upon, obviously, because Bungie, they probably would have fleshed it out if they had the time. But if they could actually have the same kind of treatment to Oni or UNSC, have this internal divide, conflict, or this kind of shame on the Spartans going, look, what I mean? Like, if you got the ODSTs and they look down on the Spartans going,
yes.
this, that, I want that kind of thing. I don't want them to be
they're questioning whether they're even human anymore. That kind of thing.
Yeah, that's why. Well, they alienate them all. And they're like,
After watching Fred stick a bone into the guy's throat, you can have the camera roll back to the ODSTs, and one of them's like staring at this. The other one walks up to him. It's the commander or whatever. He's like, "Yeah, I just got word from command. These guys are gonna be working with us now." And he's like, "Guys, those are fucking humans in there. Did you see what he just did to that guy?
Yeah.
He stuck his fucking thigh through his throat." And the other guy's like, "Well, I hope you get used to it, because those kids are with us." And he's like, "Kids? What the fuck is going on?" And they start walking off, so we can establish just that immediate, so we're not getting into the deep end of it right now. We'll get to that later. But we established that first seed of what?
And it's like a jump cut. It's just
we have
what,
what
the F is going on.
Anime gasp.
And so we have Blue Team, which is comprised of a total of 6 members, maybe 7, but I don't want to inflate it too much because it's already going to be a lot of characters in the show. Most of them being centered around Blue Team because I want that to be the fucking focus. So what happens is, they're basically giving their briefing to Halsey and maybe someone like Captain Keyes, maybe, but I kind of want another character. Go ahead.
You're gonna hate me. What if I took my exam? No, okay, this is a really huge hot take. What if I blew it out of proportion? So, do you know what? Because obviously, we don't want to correlate directly with the law. What if we said, no? Maybe if you want it to be,
Make your mind
say
up,
no.
Sylas.
If not, what if the only survivors of the Spartan program is the Blue Team?
I also want to have Noble Team and a few others here and there, but I do like.
Are they Spartan 2s? Noble Team.
No, they're Spartan 3s, but I'm doing it for lore like we can.
You put them together. Okay, no, that makes
or
sense.
we can do Silver Team. I just want a rival team, and it's gonna be a smaller group of 4 or 5 Spartans. It's gonna be smaller. But I do like the idea of it being this is the only surviving group. Maybe we can say there's 2 other squads that we just don't really talk about often.
Actually, no, you want more squads because then the fall of Reach wouldn't feel as impactful because you're not losing Spartans. So actually, no.
Yeah, there you go. Have it be a total of 4 squads. 4 squads, all of different sizes for different purposes. And Blue Team is the second largest. The absolute largest is 10 Spartans. Then you got Blue Team with 7 or 6 or however many. Then you got we'll call them Red Team. I like Red Team actually. Oh wait, no, because Red Team's already in Halo Wars.
Yeah, wait, is Red Team Spartan 2s?
Yes.
Oh, they're Spartan 3s.
No,
Oh, they're Spartan 2s.
Yeah.
With Jerome and all that. So wait, could you arguably have them in it?
Yeah, actually, totally, you could. But they don't know. No, because we could. Yeah, 100%.
It's our own law. Yeah, wait. Actually, that's interesting. Wait, what? I never thought of
Lore
this.
battle.
So wait, were they on reach?
Well, here we go. You don't even have to necessarily like. You can make it really short. Just be like,
Oh no, I know you can make it up, but I'm just wondering. Wait, were they like in regards to Canada? Were they on reach, or do you know?
they left before Reach happened, which is what I was getting to.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
red team, you can have. You know, we see these 4 squads. These are the only remaining Spartans because I want to, as you said, I want to really show the impact of this. The remaining Spartans, we have a team of 10, 6, 4, which is or not 4, but we'll make blue team 8 total members. And then below that we have noble team, or we'll call them silver team. I like silver team because I really want to kill off a team named silver team after watching the Halo show. So we'll call them silver team, which is a total of 6 members. And then you have red team, which is a total of 4. And red team is basically, after the debriefing, John sees them, red team, going up to, they're basically walking down a pathway, and he asks Halsey, where are they off to? And Halsey says they're off to the Spirit of Fire to go quell the rebellion on, I think it was Onyx?
Was Onyx?
Wait, hang on. What was the first fucking planet glassed? First planet glass.
What was it Onyx?
Was it? It was Harvest. Sorry, it was Harvest. Onyx was later on.
Combine Harvest, isn't it?
Yeah. So they go to Harvest, and that's where one of the cooler missions of Halo Wars 1 takes place, but it's also the hardest fucking legendary mission in goddamn Halo history. Anyways, so that's where they're off to. So it's kind of a nice little nod to Halo Wars, being like, look at that, isn't that cool? And then what we can
that's
do,
where they're going.
Yeah. And so now we're left with, and we'll call them Gold Team. Call it Gold Team. That's the one with 10 members. That's why it's gold, because it's the most amount of members.
Castle.
And so we have blue team underneath that, silver team, and then red team. And basically, at the end of this episode, so we established this big fight scene. We have, maybe start the conflict with, I want to have the ODST scene for Brody, because I know you don't know all about the lore. There's a scene that happens earlier on than I wanted to. There's a scene where right after getting his, it was right after getting his augmentations, Master Chief, he's still like a teenager, by the way, goes to a gym to work out.
Yeah.
And like 4 ODSTs go in there and basically start bullying him and start like picking on him and punching him and shit. And I don't think they even land a single punch. They start like picking on him and like they shove him, and he turns them all into basically human pretzels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a horrifying scene, but it was done to show. That's why the ODSTs in lore fucking hated the Spartans. Also, they're abominations in their eyes, but it's one of the biggest reasons because they literally attacked their own.
Frankensteins, basically.
But I want that scene to happen later, where it's not Chief this time. I want it to be Sam.
Should we make it, or no? Would we want it Fred to be kind of the gung ho, kind of brutal guy?
Yeah, I would want him to be like an expert in interrogations or something like that.
Yeah, so do you think it would be
he has a lot
Fred
of
who
knives
loses
on
temper?
him in the Halo 5 concept art, and I thought that was really cool. So
Yeah. Do
I
you
wouldn't
think he
say-
should be the one who loses temper?
Knife man.
I wouldn't
I
say
didn't know Fred
temper.
was British.
I think he can hold his temper well, but I think he gets violent quickly. I would say
Yeah.
if he sees an option to use violence where it, like, you could solve this with, not being violent, but it would be a lot easier if we just killed this person.
Yeah.
He would go for the kill route. If it's quicker and easier to take down a target by fucking crushing their windpipe than wasting a bullet, he'll crush their windpipe. Why use a bullet on someone like this? They don't need to die quickly. They just need to die. That's how he would see it.
Yeah.
But what I want Sam to go to there. He has no armor on. He took it off. He's not feeling great after that mission. And I want that to be kind of established with some of his breathing issues. Have John be like, yeah, I want you to kind of just take a minute, go to the gym, work out a little bit, get some of this frustration off. Because I want John to be a little sympathetic, not I'm crying because I have feelings. Because 343 loves to give
my chip.
343 just loves to give fucking Master Chief feelings. I don't know why. Stop doing
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
stupid. But
but they don't.
I want him to care for his troops.
The idea of Master Chief having feelings is fine. The idea of Master Chief having feelings in the way
being a
that
little
they present
pussy ass
it
bitch who
is
cries every
horrible.
2.5 nanoseconds.
Yeah, pussy
that's
ass.
Feelings
really-
are
no,
hella
Master
interested,
Chief
though,
is
with
allowed
Pilot.
to be kind of horrified by mass murder, right? I think
Well,
he should
Master
be
Chief
allowed
isn't
to
even-
do that. But when
he's
he goes, "Wah," I don't care.
Master
Don't care,
Chief,
Master Chief.
he's
I'm
not going to
sorry.
be affected by this because I'm not going to do the stupid
Oh
fucking.
no, I don't think he should be.
There's no.
Yeah, I
they have a
think-
little pill thing that they inject into the Spartans' butts in the TV show that inhibits their
Yeah.
emotions, which is fucking stupid. It makes no sense. Why would you want that? They're psychopaths. They shouldn't feel emotions. That's how fucking psychopathy works. But anyways, what I want him to do is be like, you know, because he cares about his troops, and if he sees Sam's not doing well, it's like, listen, what I want you to do, I want you to work it out. If you don't feel well by the end of this, I want you to get a psych eval immediately because I cannot have you running a mission if you're not at the top of your game. And so Sam goes to the gym and he's not wearing his armor and he sits down and a bunch of ODSTs come in. And Sam's one of the shorter Spartans.
Yeah.
He's not fucking towering like Chief, but he's definitely not like, he's not short
But
either.
he's still strong.
Yeah.
He's a Spartan, you know.
Yeah. And so these guys are bullying him and he's just like, listen, man, I just want to work out. I've had a long day. He said, yeah, having a long day, huh? You fucking abomination. You know, he shoves him. And Sam doesn't move. He's like a fucking brick. He just doesn't move. He's like, listen, buddy, I want you to get away from me because I've had a long day. And then at one point, one of the ODSTs, basically he's like, what are you going to do, little pussy or something like that? And I want him to pull out a knife, like a big-ass combat knife.
With all
And he
due-
goes
with-
to stab him.
With all due respect,
Wait.
with all due respect, Bert, why are you turning Halo into a high school?
It's how the
No,
scene
I
plays
this,
out.
but
Like,
what? Yeah, no, it is. But the thing is, I think. But Brody, you got to think about it. They're kids still. At the end of the day, they're
Yeah, no,
still
they
kids.
are. Yeah,
But
well,
I think,
the-
what if they
the
brought in the
Spartans
whole
are, the
parents
ODSTs
thing,
wouldn't
like the
be
whole
really.
family thing? Because
What do you
surely
mean?
that's a bit of a soft spot. You know, you get taken
Oh,
to replace
yeah.
a decoy.
there you go.
So
Say
what
something
if
like
you just
that.
said, yeah,
So, but really quick, one of the ODST takes on a knife and goes to stab him. And Sam grabs his arm, breaks it, grabs that guy, throws him into his other buddy, and then picks up the other guy by the throat and fucking body slams him. One of the guys gets back up, you know, his hand's broken. He's like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with you? And the other guy's running at him from behind. You know, he got it behind him or something. So he grabs him by the legs, crushing his ankles in the process, and fucking topples the other dude again. And when he hits the guy who had his arm broken, his head slams into a fucking, like, you know, one of the machines, causing a weight to fall down and crush his fucking head.
yeah. I was gonna say you
Like-
wouldn't use a gym scene unless you would be wasting if a weight didn't fall on someone's head or something.
And then after it
Yeah.
falls into his
Yeah.
head, Sam picks it back up. You know, this guy, he's like laying on the ground, his ankles are broken. He's like, please stop. Sam grabs the fucking weight and just goes, boom. We don't need to see the head explode, have it be implied with the noise, but he fucking crushes the guy's head with a fucking weight. And when he lifts it back up, he looks at the weight. He starts to have a panic attack, blood's dripping, and the weight is shattered. And like, because, you know, he's so strong, he broke the fucking weight. And
I think there should be something on the weight there, like don't show his head exploded, but have some mushy bits.
Well, just-
on,
well,
like,
yeah, just have blood.
Maybe
He
his
coated his
scalp
whole
or
hand.
something, you know.
well, that might be a little too gross in my eyes, but yeah.
What do you mean?
But what would happen is he pulls away
Oh,
his
a
hand,
little bit of skull bone.
and he's
Yeah.
he's
The
horrified. And it cuts back to
Yeah,
a
yeah.
camera feed where we see Halsey and one of the commanders of the ODSTs, and the commander of the ODST is fucking pissed. He's angry because some of his best ODSTs were just murdered or basically made, you know, useless now. And on top of that, this fucking abomination just did it. And he's like, Halsey, what the fuck is wrong with you? And she's like, well, I wanted to show you that, you know, yada yada. Because this is kind of how it plays out in the book. She shows him this.
Yeah.
And basically just to show the strength of the Spartans. And basically Sam's having a fucking freak out. And he goes up to Chief and is like, dude, I just fucking murdered 3 ODSTs. And Chief takes it up to Halsey because, like, what's going on here? This was like, because he can put 2 and 2 together. There's no reason those ODSTs had any reason to go into that gym like that in that way with a fucking knife. And she says, well, simply put, I had to test Sam's reflexes. I had to make sure he was still at the top of his game because I saw his heart rate increase in a way that was kind of worrying. And Chief, I want him to get scary here. I want him to intimidate Halsey and be like, listen, he is one of the best soldiers I know. You are never, ever going to treat him like that again, or I will make sure what he did to those ODSTs looks like heaven compared to what I'll do to you. And I want him to, and then she's like, and I want to use this line because it's one of my favorite lines from Halo Reach. And she's like, "Are you threatening me, John?"
Yes.
And I want him to look like,
one?
no, ma'am.
I'm making you a quote.
Yes, but I don't want to use the exact quote. Although that is such a good fucking quote.
It's such a good quote. Good.
I want him down. I want him to say something like, and she's like, "Are you threatening me, John?" Or no, I wanted to say, "Are you threatening me, 117?" I wanted him to say that because I want her to try and like disassociate with him, and I want him to say, "No, ma'am." Or I don't fucking know, something just like
just finishing this fight. Just starts bashing her.
But yeah, you know, he just says something cool.
No, ma'am,
like that.
just looking out for my men.
Yes, there you go. Just looking out for my men.
No, just my team or something. Have you know.
Yeah, just looking out for my team because there's a woman on the team.
I want it to be I want it to be some sort of Frankenstein and creature kind of relation where it's like there's some conflict between them where they don't see eye to eye, obviously, because number one, Victor Frankenstein made the creatures. The creature's not too happy about it. So like with, John in this case, he's not too happy that he's been, obviously taken away from his family, all this stuff. He's not obviously emotional going, oh, you do them away with my family. He's like, he's conflicted. He's a kid. I want that to be shown where it's not all sunshine, I get along with the Halsey in that. Because that's how it was also in the new Halo games was depicted where it's like, oh, John, you look so nice. It's like, John would not, obviously over time it'd be like, okay, you'd grow more towards Halsey because that's all he's got as a parental figure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I want it to be a journey for that. I want it to be earned as a sense. I don't think, because obviously she doesn't know how to parent either, so I think she should also, grow, because obviously I don't think it's the best thing to abduct children.
And the episode ends with basically I wanted to kind of just cut away from all of this, and I wanted to have some sort of insurrectionist base. They drop off their wounded men. Maybe like 2 guys got away, right? And it's because they literally hid and they were they bolted at the perfect moment, whatever. And what happens is they're talking to the head insurrectionists, and like, this is what fucking happened, dude. They have something new. And then they hear a rumble. And it's like, oh God, is that them again? And they look at the window, and you're expecting Spartans to show up, right? You're expecting that. Instead, they go outside and they look up, and you see their jaws drop, and what you see is a Covenant Corvette hovering above. And I want this thing to be fucking enormous. I'm talking like the continent of Africa,
like Reach
huge.
Kind of size.
Yes,
I love how
like the skybox
Reach
where it takes up like 80%
huge.
of the fucking skybox. Yes. And
just the bit when that small one got, the one in the spy mission when the small one got taken down, and then that huge one just comes down.
And the fucking giant one comes and takes out the fucking the ship. Yes, I want it to be fucking
that's the size,
massive, like the size of a country. This thing should not be fully seen by the naked eye, but they see that and they just see a fucking like the glassing beam. Basically, you just see it start starting up. Episode ends. That's how the 3rd episode ends. And then the next episode, basically for the rest of the series, we basically just see the UNSCs just trying to fight back the Covenant the best they can.
Question, though.
Yes.
Should we? Okay. Should we, like, this is another one. I would like a kind of fleshing out of, how you got the Arbiter, obviously, in Halo 2. What if instead, because there's obviously speculations of, in Halo Reach, Arbiter killed Cap because blah, 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 like things like that. But what if you actually fleshed out some characters on the Elite side? And what if you took a step back, you left it off there, that's a perfect point, everything's been just shown. Or maybe you leave it at episode 5 or whatever you want to leave it as. Because that personally seems like a perfect ending because you go, what's this? Then the next episode delves back to the Covenant and like kind of, it gives you the same treatment as you had with Oni and UNSC. You learn about them, you learn all this stuff, and then it goes back to that point. But again,
I'm going to pull the classic Bungie approach because I think they were geniuses, and I'm not going to do that until either the 2nd or 3rd season. I'm going to wait to do that because I think...
Would that go back, or would you want it to go presently with the series, or would you want them to revisit back to these kind of...
Well, here's what I want to do. If we do more than one season, which I would not want to do, I think some of the best shows are some of the shortest, right?
But not too short though.
Well, yeah. Well, I think one season of like 15 episodes is enough. Because
15 episodes, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, But
I was thinking of like a 10-episode season. I was like, oh, that's a bit.
nah, yeah, just like a longer season. But I want it to just be it's a one season show. But if we want to, then we can have the games be adapted.
Yeah.
I just do.
But anyways, back to what I was saying. So like, maybe in like the fifth episode, because the fourth episode we're gonna see like Chief lose several men of Blue Team trying to take, shut down the Covenant. The entire episode is gonna be like almost like I want it to have as few cuts as possible. I literally just want it to be Master Chief and his squad, Blue Team, being basically lifted from place to place, and which is just one massive fight scene. Essentially, that's the entire episode, the fourth episode, in which they're going from place to place. We see Spartans get taken down by fucking, the Covenant, who are in these massive areas. And, Master Chief basically is able to just barely, he loses a Spartan here, just barely pushing back the Covenant enough to give the fucking UNSC breathing room. And then they're like, listen, we need fucking reinforcements here now. So he's lifted up, taken somewhere else with Blue Team every other time. And we just see like one by one, him losing fucking members of Blue Team until it's just the main 5 left. In which, and then that's just the entire episode.
It's just like a slow whittling down of Blue Team.
I want to see the pain of losing. No, it's all right. Sorry, my bad.
No, I interrupted.
I want to see I want to see several Spartans die. I want to see the fucking pain of this. And this is the episode where we see maybe Silver Team. We see them like, constantly talking to, Blue Team, like, yeah, we got this many kills today. We're doing great. We're feeling good. And then, at one point they meet up at the very end to kind of take down this thing. Chief's a little annoyed because the leader in their group is arrogant. He's kind of an asshole, but he's not like a piece of shit douchebag, but he's just kind of annoying, right? He doesn't take everything as serious as he probably should, but I want I want Chief to be like, I want you to take down this, I want you to go down to this building here. We're going to loop around. We're going to meet in the middle. We're going to take out all the Covenant's building. We believe there's a bomb, whatever. And as they're going in there, he hears them fucking get slaughtered. And then we have a moment somehow Chief gets separated from the rest of Blue Team. Silver Team's most likely fucking dead. They got decimated. And I want there to be a scene where Chief meets up with a fucking, I think it's a zealot. I think they're like the highest.
Oh, with an energy sword.
Yeah.
Yes, and I want there to be a fucking scene where he gets separated, and Chief at one point, you have 2 zealots or something.
I always thought the zealots had a really cool design.
2 zealots.
Yeah,
I like their
lore.
I want to use the Halo Reach one with the white armor because.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking orgasmic.
I like the idea of having 2 as well. Having 2.
Calm down there. Come armor.
So you've just seen what one did to like the Silver Team group. Just one.
Yes.
Like let's show it like. Yeah, and then I don't know, maybe like in front of him or something. It's like they get split up. It's just Chief and the leader of the Silver Team, whatever.
I want this to be shot in a way where it's a dark tunnel, and Master Chief's lights are like. So you see this. It's like behind Chief, and he's standing there breathing. He's in like an action pose. And you just see on either side of him, there's a zealot there, a zealot there, and
is this inspired at all by Forward Unto Dawn? Because that sounds exactly like. That's the one thing I loved about that is the actual. Like how good that looked. I don't know if you remember the hallway scenes where there's like with Chiefs.
Remember Chief killing an arbiter from behind, or not arbiter, a fucking elite from behind.
Yeah, elite with an energy sword. But the thing is, he goes around all the hallways of the academy with his lights on. That's all you see, and you can just hear it like
yes. You know what? I think I subconsciously remember that because that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
but it's from behind, so you just see the lights illuminate these 2 elites, and then you got the blue energy swords. Because I want this to be shot. He like falls into this tunnel or whatever. It collapses, and Blue Team's above, and they're like, Chief, you want us to come down? He's like, no, secure the bomb. You take out any whatever. I'll take out whatever took out Silver Team down here. And like, you sure? He's like, yes, move. And then he turns. His fucking flashlights slowly come on, like, zzz, and then it lights up, and you just see. In this hallway, you see it so it's behind him in this dark hallway. You see an energy sword fucking light up to his right, and then from the other side, you see another one light up, and they're fucking. What happens? Or I'm gonna make this better. Actually, it's not 2. It's a zealot with 2 energy swords.
Wait, can I interrupt there though?
One zealot, and you just see like.
Yes,
if it was the leader. Of the Silver Team, right?
It's like fucking Darth Maul.
Both Chief and the Silver Team leader, let's say they get, separated from the other ones, they drop down, and there's one at the end of the hallway. And the Silver Team leader, I've taken on this many today, like, whatever. And he runs up to me, starts beating up this elite, right? And little because it's all dark and that, all you can see is in Chief's headlight, just full on the guy, bashing, and he's actually about to win this elite thing, and all you see is the energy sword come from behind him, and then the other one steps out.
Here we go. There's a reason why I said one elite with an energy sword, or two energy swords. There's a very specific reason. Master Chief's staring at this elite because he knows this thing just killed all the fucking silver team by itself. And by the way, another thing, I also, when he turns on the energy sword, I want an invisibility thing to go away, so that we can establish the reason why he was able to get them.
Can we have it? Can we have it? So, no. I like the idea of the invisibility thing going away, but when he shuts out one energy sword, right? And then as he pushes out the other, its glow illuminates like a dead body of a silver team member.
Again, 1 second. Just let me explain this. Because that is something I was thinking as a visual. I do like that. But the reason why he illuminates both of them, I do want it to illuminate the room a little bit. And I do want to see like a dead body or two of Silver Team. But what I want him to do is I want him to take the energy sword and slide it across the ground or something to give it to Chief. Because it knows deep down that Chief is going to be a worthy adversary. And then I want there to be a 1v1 fucking energy sword fight scene.
Predator.
This is cool. This is something an elite would do. It would see.
Yeah, no. I agree with you. It is cool. Yeah.
And I want it to, I don't want it to speak English because I think that's kind of corny, but I want there to be some sort of message.
Either what,
Wait. Because what I want him to do is I want him to, no, they can't speak English. They have the lore, if I remember correctly, is that humans have automatic translators in their fucking brains, basically.
Yeah, I thought it's because elites learn. Oh no,
guys. Arbiter literally just like learned English so you could say words so easy.
No, I actually thought that some of the lore actually said that some of the Covenant people like did some looking up of
maybe, but that might be. I think that's 3 for 3 lore. I guarantee
it could be.
Anyways,
I don't think it's too completely stupid to believe that some of them would have like some vague understanding of English for the sake of
understanding English is different than speaking it. They don't have tongues.
That's why
the elite
they don't have tongues. Yeah.
That's why the Sangheili language is all just they don't have tongues to enunciate shit like that. So it just sounds
How does the Arbiter talk?
Anyways, let me explain the fucking scene. So what happens is he slides it over. There's a cool fucking fight scene, but I also want to establish that the reason why it knew that Mashi was different is because he told his squad to leave and told them that he would take on the elite himself while this other squad came in, together. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to give you this chance as a 1v1. You deserve this. And I want it to be a really cool fight scene in which Mashi basically, it's close. I want it to be close.
Yeah. Don't have it to where one of them just has a clear advantage. Make it to where they're very much equals and they're slicing each other up.
Exactly.
And close to killing each other.
Can I possibly build on that? So instead, right, would it be better to show this kind of elite thing? You can see the elite obviously, like the camera shot is from kind of its perspective where you can see Chief, there's standing looking up, talking to his team, saying, you can go. They leave.
Yeah.
And then he turned, and you can hear some footsteps. So he turns on his lights, looks around him, doesn't see anything, and you can hear the footsteps behind him. You can see like the little, his hood, like the sensor or whatever, getting closer. And he looks behind him, he gets pushed, and he falls on his back like a meter or so behind him. And he looks on the ground, and then the sword thing gets thrown to him, and then you can see the elite get revealed, and it's like the first.
That's
time you see,
cool. I like that actually. That's a really cool.
Because it shows that he's just pushed him over. Because I don't know, maybe we have like a big, like not big, but a bit of a height difference between Chief and all the other spawns. Obviously, maybe possibly. And then he goes, okay, this guy has done this. Then he pushes him, and then he throws over, like slides over, and then he just reveals, and you can just see the lights because Chief's on the ground from his legs all the way up to his mandibles.
Yes.
And he's just looking at him.
Well, no, because he has the mask on from Reach, so you can't see the mandibles. You just see the glowing blue eyes, which would be so fucking cool to see. Also, another thing, this is going to sound kind of silly, I know, but I want to have a misty effect with the eyes, so you can see a little bit of smoke trails coming from the eyes. I think that'd look cool.
It's sci-fi.
I wouldn't lose sleep on it compared to the TV series. I think
we added a little misty eyes. Oh no!
Like then that difference looks cool.
Listen, man.
you know,
Would you rather
crazy.
watch a show where they add a little bit of mist to the eyes, or where insurgents use
Where Master Chief
AK-47s
pulls
and
a
drive
pill out of
Chevy
his
Tahoes?
butthole and then cries for 30
Wait,
minutes.
are we all missing? Are we all missing like
Yeah, and then
the
he has sex with
main?
an alien
There we
lady
go.
that's
Thank
also
you.
a human,
We're not gonna
but
talk
Not even
about
also
alien,
it.
works
though.
with the
We're not
Covenant.
gonna talk about it. We're not gonna
Covenant
talk
hate
about
humans,
it.
but
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna have
are.
a human lady in it.
No, we're
Okay,
not.
anyway.
Anyways,
Alright, so in our version of the Halo TV show,
Women's
does
Arbiter and
Master
Master
Chief
Chief
ever
is the
have
same.
doesn't
sex?
happen.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't take off his armor. We never see him take off his armor.
Yes.
Actor goes on.
no.
At least for the
Absolutely
first season. If we continue it, then maybe. But for that first season, we do not see him take off his
I don't
armor.
like
Keep
showing
the
his
armor
face.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah, keep the armor on,
takes.
because then it's Master Chief.
Yeah. Anyway, so
I don't think we
then
should ever show his face.
the episode ends with
Apart
basically
from a kid.
Master Chief goes up to the leader of Silver Team. Silver Team leader, he's like, listen, I always knew you were gonna be the best, man. I like, thanks for trying to save us. I appreciate it. And then he dies, and we just see this army of Spartans, and we realize that Silver Team was sent here to rescue Gold Team, and that's when it hits. All of Gold Team's also dead down here, and Master Chief realized in this moment, besides Red Team, which is fucking far away on another planet, and they could be dead at this point. We don't know. We are looking at one of the last Spartans besides his squad. And I want the episode to end on Master Chief realizing that it's just Blue Team left. Because I think that would
Gold
hit
Team went in and
hard.
died. Silver Team went in to save them, and they died. And
Yes.
now Master Chief is the only one left, along with his squad.
Oh,
and then
that's another thing. The reason
the fuck they are.
down in this underground tunnel, there's also it was a rescue effort. That's what Gold Team was trying to do. Now, I want to emphasize that as well. And I want to see there's a giant crashed fucking tunnel with a train that looks like it was midway through before it collapsed. Gold Team failed, Gold Team failed. Silver Team failed to rescue them. Blue Team's all that's left, and it really shows. Holy fuck! The Covenant just took out fucking fucking 16 Spartans.
At this point, half of the Spartan program.
Yeah, holy fucking shit. The Covenant did this in one fucking day. I want to emphasize that they did.
Yeah.
So the next episode is literally just about pushing the Covenant back, because it was just this one massive fucking super carrier, right? Yes, Sylas?
Sorry, this isn't add to the story at all. It's just a visual aspect to one of the deaths. I don't know why, but especially the darkness in that, I would love the first ever time to reveal active camo for elites is to have someone running. Just imagine this, okay? So imagine a Spartan, whatever, running towards whatever, and an elite's holding an energy sword out like this, and it activates it, and the person's legs continue, but the top half is still there. So the legs get split off, and the torso is still as they're running.
That's
And it
nasty. I like that.
slits straight through the spine and everything.
I don't think the energy
And it
sword,
just
the
gets
energy sword would
separated.
just cauterize the wound immediately, though. That's the problem.
Yeah,
The
no, it
sword
wouldn't get
really.
all sloppy with it.
Well, no,
But I mean, as in it would still separate.
I don't know if it would.
Yeah,
I think it would literally melt the body
Why
together
not?
again after hitting it because of the heat.
Well, they didn't even
It's-
show that where the body flexes and just
Oh, that'd be
the
nasty.
stomach.
I would be down to see it. I just don't know if that would logically work. I'd have to.
It
I'd
probably
have to
wouldn't
look
logically
into it.
work actually.
But if
You're right.
logically that works, I think that'd be a cool fucking visual, horrifying visual. But
Okay, I was gonna say something, but that's
But
stupid.
it would destroy the nerves, right? It would destroy the nerves.
Obviously,
So
you're burning the nerves.
you
so,
see
your
you see it
legs wouldn't
slice through them. It melts them back together. That's how fucking hot it is. But all of the nerve connections are
can't move
completely
your legs,
destroyed.
yeah.
So you just
Just
see the
severed.
body crumple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
The legs just
crumple
crumple below them, yeah.
down. I like that.
yeah,
And it's
I remember seeing someone make a comparison between how Hollywood films think it looks like when you get shot in the head, and you fall dramatically backwards between what it actually looks like, where your body just crumples.
Mhm.
That's what happens when you get hit in the head,
Well,
because your
imagine,
body does just completely lose nervous system, and then it just falls.
Well, the thing,
I like
obviously,
that.
as we discussed before, that kind of fleshy texture. If you can just imagine that, kind of meshing, the top torso and the legs. There's like a layer of just meshy skin, which has been cauterized, and then it's just they're flopping on the floor. Kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah. So for the
Yeah.
next episode, sorry, I don't want to just like move on, but we're running out
No,
of
no, no, that
time.
makes
So
sense. No, no, I know. I just want to add that.
no, I got you. So the next episode, basically, it would be pretty goddamn simple. I'm not going to do anything crazy. It's literally just about attacking the super carrier because that's obviously the biggest goddamn problem right now. You know, we just saw what a single fucking, basically the first attack against the UNSC did to the Spartan force. It fucking annihilated. So clearly the Spartans, even though they're strong, even though it's the humanity's best chance of survival, it's not enough. You know, we just saw what they did. And at this
And also the
point,
kids still.
at this point, what I want to happen is I want them to get a message from Harvest, made from the Spirit of Fire, something. And what would happen is essentially we'd see them basically say, "Hey, they just destroyed Harvest." And they're like, "What do you mean?" They just hit it with a beam that was so hot, it turned everything to glass. There's nothing left. And it's a Spirit of Fire, maybe. Hell, we can have them say, because they would see this and be like, "We got as many civilians as we could, but it's all gone." And it's like, oh god, they're escaping. We gotta take them. We gotta go after them, and maybe have like, you know, I don't know if I'd want to have Lord Hood. I think I would. I think he's a cool character. I'd bring him back. Maybe have him literally played by Ron Perlman, because I think his voice is really cool. But anyways, what would happen is he's like, you know, green light to engage, go after them, take down those sons of bitches or whatever. And that's where the Spirit Fire disappears, you know, because of Halo Wars. That's kind of how Halo Wars goes down. And that's when they realize if that's what they did to Harvest, that's what they're going to do here. They're just weakening our forces, so we can't attack. So we need to go to that carrier now. And they look at, you know, blue team's the only one available to do it. And John's like, "We're going to do it. We got this." And they're like, they devised this plan where they're going to go in, they're going to break in, they're going to take over the ship, they're going to plant a giant bomb in it, because as far as they know, the Covenant haven't revealed exactly where they are yet or what's going on here. And so what they're going to do is they're going to take it down, they're going to fucking blow this shit up. So, you know, they go in there, and it's basically the exact same sequence of A Long Night of Solace from Halo Reach. Maybe have them go into a smaller ship and they have a catapult, whatever. I like to see that scene. And it ends with Sam sacrificing himself, because that's how it happens in the original story.
Yeah.
And they basically think, we just did it. We took him out. You know, maybe even have like some sort of line about how the super carrier is probably the same one from Harvest. I don't really know. I don't really care. But just essentially what is happening is I want to say, like, this is the last chance to stop the Covenant here and now. And so they go in there, they blow it up, and Master Chief watches his friend sacrifice himself. And as they're all falling back down to orbit, you know, they grab a Pelican maybe on the way down. As they're flying down, you know, Master Chief's in shambles, and then they just start hearing over the radio, like, slip space rupture detected. And he's like, "What? Slip space rupture detected." No. Slip space, and it keeps going and going, and it starts like overlapping itself. And he looks out the back, and then you just see thousands of Covenant super carriers just start coming in. It's exactly from Reach. I fucking love that shot. That is one of the most depressing fucking shots in any video game ever made.
Yeah.
It's like the ending of Red Dead 2. It is fucking gut-wrenching. And then the next fucking few episodes is just all about the humans trying to basically push back until Halsey, and, you know, maybe have Halsey talking to Chief about something, a super weapon that she's making, and that she's chosen him for the secret project. And then maybe in like the episode after that one, he gets Cortana. And basically the season finale is, you know, they lose maybe one more Spartan. I don't want to kill one of the main characters, 'cause I do want this to be able to fit canonically in with the games. But if we can, I'm fine with it. I don't really mind too much. These are characters that I don't think should have ever came back in the games, because making
Could I go
more
back for a second though?
Yeah, sure, go ahead, man.
Just in terms of the carrier, what if we said that, you know, because it would be weird if all of those Spartan groups were going towards that one thing, you know, that one train or whatever you were saying. Let's say one of them, like another group, also, you know, made it. And then in terms of, you know, how they're going to that carrier, what if, like, for the start of the episode, they're going towards it with this initial plan, and they're in front of them, like their Pelican, whatever, is in front of theirs, and it just gets eviscerated, just destroyed. They have to go back to make the episode as well longer. Make them go back, and they have to go, wait, okay, that whole idea was not a good idea. Like we can't do it that easily. And then that way, when more come up and like show up, you go, so all those people died for that one carrier, and now there's thousands. I think also, additionally with Sam's death.
Oh, you know what? I like
could
that.
be.
Well, here's one of the reasons I wanted Gold Team to basically Gold Team is focused 100% on evacuation efforts, getting people out of at least the city and then out of the fucking off planet. That's what Gold Team was. Yeah. That's why they was the largest team. That's why there were so many of them. Maybe in that case, maybe don't kill off Silver Team. Just have the Silver Team leader die. Maybe have a few of the soldiers. Maybe use the Spartans from. Yeah, have maybe a few Spartans.
I think that makes sense. Like, you're not like deleting Silver Team from existence, but you're crippling them by removing their leadership.
And then maybe because it's a total of 6 Spartans, so maybe have like 2 or 3 die, and then Mashiv gets them, and then maybe have a few gold. Spartan Gold members who were above the building as the subway was getting out, as the train was leaving. Maybe have a few of them. So like there's like 3 or 4 there. And so what happens is their first effort to go in there was basically those Spartans. They were like, all right, the rest of Silver Team and Gold Team, you're going to come together. You're going to be Gold Team 2, basically. We're going to have you try this mission. Which is essentially, like you said, Sylas, I like that idea, where they go in, their whole idea is that we're just going to go in, we're going to take this ship over, we're going to find out what we need to know, and we're going to get the hell out of here. And they get there, and they basically just get decimated. I don't want a single one of those Spartans to live.
The carrier, like, they get, like, near, I don't know if it's, like, some energy shield or whatever, it just blows them up, just like that, just, like, with a snap. All those Spartans, just gone.
Well, how about have a giant space battle like in Reach? Like, again, Long Night of Solace, where you have all the fucking... You have all of these, pilots basically flying around, blowing up the ship so you can cause the shield to open up. Have it be like, have us follow these new Spartans. And I want to see them get into the ship because I want to see how quickly they die. I want to watch it happen, I want to see them, like, they get overwhelmed by grunts. Elites come in, they fucking just rip them apart, almost literally, and there's nothing left.
Brutes were also at the time of Reach, weren't they? Yeah.
I don't want to have Brutes. So, I'll introduce them later. No? I don't like Brutes as an enemy. If I'm being honest.
Definitely not drones either. Then.
Yeah, no. I like the drones. Elites are better.
We can do drones maybe at some point, but I just don't want to introduce Brutes. At least not yet.
Yeah, I think it'll be way too hectic at this point. I think Elites and grunts and jackals.
Limit your use of drones, just like the games did. Don't put them everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ, make them their own isolated event.
I had an idea. Instead of killing off, like, all of the characters, right? Well, let's say, you said the leftovers, so maybe some people with Silver Team and then the other ones go join Gold Team, whatever you were saying, right?
Yeah.
What if the leader didn't die, however? What if we got back to the idea where he got sliced in the middle, quarterized, and he became in a wheelchair and he becomes, like, I don't know, some redemption arc or something for, captain or whatever, but it kind of humbles him, the whole fact that he's just been quarterized and he can't move his legs.
I disagree. What I'm going to do is he survives without any sort of impact like that. What I would do is have him, he sent his squad in to basically, support the remaining members of Gold Team. So he is actually now the leader of the new Gold Team, whatever's left of his team and Gold Team. So he feels responsible for sending them to their deaths. That's why he's like, I'm going to that super carrier. I'm killing all of them. And when he gets there, he doesn't get that satisfying end. He dies pitifully. Because, again, I want it to be tragic. I don't want there to be a happy ending to this. I want it to be tragic because that's what Reach is.
And I want it to be a mix of just short, just like quickly, just sharp, just deaths and also dragged out long ones. Yeah. I don't want them to be in between. I want it to be the really, really long, painful, dragged out death. Or just like that. Like proper military death. Yeah. One shot. It's it.
And so that's when... So we got Blue Team left. And what I want them to do at this point is it's like we're all that's left. It's just Sam, Kelly, Fred, fucking Linda, and I. Chief. We're all that's left. And so they basically devise a plan in which Linda says, well, here's what we can do. We can send in a smaller group of Spartans. So one, we don't have to risk losing more people because that's a terrible idea. We can bring in, and they can talk about the slip space incident that they do in Reach. Talk about that and be like, this is what we can do. We can take over this smaller ship. Because clearly the super carrier is fucking dangerous. We should not do that. Let's go for the smaller ship, put the bomb, basically put this, what is essentially a bomb inside of it, and then fly straight into there, get out before it's too late. It's a lot more realistic, and if it's 2 Spartans, that's a lot smaller, and we could do a lot quieter infiltration. And it's like, that's a good idea. So who goes? Chief and Sam. And it ends the exact same way Reach does. In which...
I like that.
Yeah.
Where it's just those two. So it's not... Yeah, because then you got more time where it's just one-on-one with them both. I like that. That's good. Going back to what you were saying before, though, with the guy getting overrun and everything on the carrier, what if... Because obviously, what if obviously another reason to go for the smaller one is the fact that that gets you in a certain, obviously spot of the big carrier's shield, isn't it? What if like the whole big carrier, its shields, like it's that big, the shields are ridiculous. You would have to hit it with a slip space, instant to actually even just knock, whatever the shield. So let's say that silver team lead, okay, write this off completely if not. But what if he like doesn't even get inside of it again? Just I don't know why, but I really like the aspect of just not even getting inside, just going almost there, getting this redemption thing, and then just like that gone.
My only thing with that is I want to show why even making it inside would be futile. Like, because if that's the case, then they would just think, well, let's destroy the shields and then go inside, right? Because at that point, and then we don't really understand because that would be my thing. I would like to establish that. Maybe have like two pelicans.
Okay, yours is better. Yeah.
Yeah. We can even just do kind of a mix of our ideas. Have two pelicans with like 3 Spartans each, so that they can even then spread out and conquer, right?
Because it is gold team and silver team mixed together, isn't it?
Yeah. So they fly in. One of the pelicans is taken out almost instantly. The other one gets in, and that's one with silver team leader. This kind of arrogant, cocky guy. He's not an asshole. Again, I don't want to make him a piece of shit. He's just a little arrogant. No. He goes in ready to fucking wreak havoc. He's ready to get revenge for all of these fallen brethren, and they're basically gunned down before they can get out of the pelican. And I want it to be tragic. I want it to be horrifyingly depressing how quickly they are gunned down. So then Kelly comes with this idea, or Linda comes with this idea. Sam, Master Chief, they get in there. This is a really cool stealth sequence. It ends with something going wrong. Maybe one of the elites, after they die, they fall over, shoot a single plasma round from their plasma rifle from a twitch, something small like that. And it reveals the location. They got the whole bomb set up, and they have to defend a location, which the supercharge, whatever it's called, the fucking, the slip space engine, it gets hit. And Sam's like, listen, and because he took a hit from his armor. It's leaking. They don't have shields yet. And what he does is like, listen, I'm not making it out of here, man. But I want to let you know you were the greatest leader I could have ever had. And they have a really heart-to-heart moment. And Master Chief says like some like really cool line, finish the fight. He goes, finish the fight. He's like, yes, sir. And Master Chief dives out, in which what happens is blows up the supercarrier. They finally think they've won. We took it out. We know how to kill them now. It took all of our guys, but at least we know how to do it. We don't even really need Spartans now. We just need to be smart about how we handle it. And then it's like, okay, we could take on one of these. We can basically take, and maybe we can even imply that the Harvest had a bunch of the smaller carriers, not the super one. They just had like 30 of them that took out the planet. So maybe they think that was the Covenant Armada. That was all of them. They're dead now. We win. And then as Chief is falling, the slip space thing, goes off, and it cuts off all comms with his armor. So he can't communicate with anyone. Because I want to fucking replicate Exodus from Halo Reach. That is such a good mission, and I want to replicate that in a TV show form because I want to show the desperation of normal humans and then have Master Chief come in and show what an unstoppable fucking beast he is, but also showing how fearful the people are of the Covenant.
So you mean, do you want him to like armor lock and like just
literally? I want like exact scene from Reach. I want to copy a lot of this from Reach because Reach did a lot of good, and I want to not copy, but I want to take heavy inspiration.
No,
from
but it. Yeah. If you want to do Reach, you want to do it Halo
exactly.
Reach style.
And what I would do is he lands. It's the exact same sequence and how it plays out.
For it.
I'm
all for it. Taking as much heavy inspiration from Reach as you can. Because I remember distinctly playing through the Halos.
Yeah.
And Reach was my favorite too.
So good.
I'm gonna be honest here. I just prefer.
Do you remember that time when I told you that the ending of Halo 3 didn't satisfy me, and you were absolutely fucking distraught? Yeah, no. Halo Reach did.
Well, Halo Reach didn't satisfy me.
It's so bizarre, but like Halo 3, it feels satisfying to me. But playing Reach after it kind of makes the ending work better. And it's so bizarre because it shouldn't. Also, my camera's not even fucking focused. Why is it focusing on my fan? There we go. It's so... I don't get how Reach does that. It's so weirdly great.
Reach just makes it all matter more.
I think that's what it is. I think it literally just... Because we never really got to see a full glimpse of it unless you read the books or, saw other media. If you just played through the games, I mean, it was bad. The Covenant were bad, but we never really got a full glimpse of it until Reach. And then when Reach ended, you're like, oh my god, that's what we stopped? It all makes sense now.
Yeah,
Master Chief was such a hero. But anyways, back to this. I do want to show that. I want to show Master Chief being a hero because that's what he is. Despite who he is deep down, despite the monster that he started as, I want him to grow. I want him to become a better character. And I wanted to, I just, the rest of the season is basically just, he gets down there, he saves all the civilians, and it ends with him getting comms back. And they're like, oh my god, you're back. How, are you okay? Where's Sam? What's going on? And it's like, Sam's dead. Or we lost Sam. And then we get the famous line from, maybe we'll have it from Halsey, although we'll see. Just the line of, no, John, Spartans never die. They just go missing in action. And that's how the episode ends. And I think that'd be a really great, tragic way of ending the episode. And then basically the rest of the series, now we can have 1 or 2 episodes here to kind of conclude it.
Correction.
Anyways.
What if, instead of saying, we lost him, what if he said, I lost Sam? Or like, someone like, I goes, no, not that, but that's
I don't mind the I lost Sam. That's not a bad line. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, no, sorry, my apologies.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Or are you gonna have like who do fucking anime voice? I lost
him.
Sigh.
So the last so at this point these are the last 2 episodes. So we got you got the second to last, we got the series series finale. I'll say season finale, series finale, however we want to put it. And what would happen is Chief gets Cortana in the second to last episode, and we basically see kind of what is essentially just this final big push from Blue Team. And because we've seen all these Spartans die, and a lot of people who are going to be watching this show are not going to be traditional Halo fans. They're going to be people who are new to the series. This entire ending, I wanted to base... So the entire second to last episode is about Cortana. Maybe there's one more mission that they do or something. They collect Cortana, they try to meet up with someone, and basically the goal is to basically get to the Pillar of Autumn and get her off planet. She's the one thing that can stop the Covenant. Also, along with this, Chief gets an upgrade to his shield, along with everyone of Blue Team. They get an upgrade to their armor, which allows them to have shielding, which greatly helps. But what I want to happen is every member of Blue Team from this episode and the last episode. So it's going to be Kelly and Fred. In the second to last episode, they are going to die. What I would do is it's implied deaths. I don't want them to fully die because I want them to be able to come back in later games or later seasons, whatever. So I would have it be implied. Have something happen where you don't know that they died.
So what you're saying is you want them to go missing in action.
Yes. Well, because here's the thing. Because every other Spartan up to this point has fucking died. Like, we've seen them die, or at least we've seen their dead bodies. So we know they're dead. So, like, 3 characters who are not confirmed dead, like, okay, it's pretty fucking clear.
It's like, oh, that's kind of that's bleak, but at the same time, it's also kind of like a glimmer of hope that maybe they're alive, maybe they're not.
But it's like you're thinking to yourself, like, the most likely guy's dead.
They're most likely dead, just like the rest of that fucking gold and silver team down in that tunnel that we saw earlier.
Maybe have it so like Kelly is flying an extra pelican to distract a fucking not a scorpion, what's it called?
Is this another Carter scene?
It's not a Carter scene. It's kind of like it, but it's not the exact same way she crashes into it. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
But what is that?
But are you referring to those things? Are you? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I knew you were referring to a scarab. Yeah.
Maybe she can take on a banshee or something, but I want her to fly the basically the pelican away, and then as she's flying away, you hear comms get cut as it shoots a beam, and you hear an explosion. So it's implied that the thing killed her. just to distract it for just a few seconds. It doesn't blow it up. She doesn't try to kill it. She just wants to distract it. Maybe have Fred get on board the Scarab to try and take it down as Master Chief and Kelly try to get to, and have a mongoose ride. That's just cool. I want to see the mongoose in live action with the fucking Spartans riding on the back. That'd just be cool.
Well, we need a warthog run. Somewhere.
That is true. I guess we could do a warthog.
You need a warthog run.
We'll have the warthog, and basically, as Kelly's like distracting it, she's distracting it so Fred can get on board. Like, what the fuck is this thing? You know, it's a giant ass bug monstering robot. It's a scarab. Oh, that's a good one, Fred. They dab, and so you know, Fred uses his cool fucking knives because he has that a knife thing in this whole season. Climbs on board.
Is he Australian?
We can make him Australian. I think there's too many normal American characters. Fuck it, let's make him Australian.
That's not a knife.
It's a knife. Yeah, he climbs on board, and you just hear him yelling. You know, he's cleaving at things, and Chief's like, "Listen, we've got to go."
I'm ready.
there.
How about you?
I don't want to use that line. That was Emil's line. I don't want to steal it. It's kind of like the whole just giving you a reading suggestion, man. It's like, ma'am. But
yeah,
it would be implied.
Oh, that's the quote. That's the quote. That's such a good quote.
What, reading suggestion?
Yeah.
Because he's like, because she's like, I can have Kat court-martialed for this because she stole confidential data or whatever and tried to look at it.
Yeah.
And Carter just goes, maybe you'd like to join her. And she goes, excuse me? And he said, as you know, we're in, I think it's Cold Protocol or something like that. And he's like, you know, as you know, interfering with Winter Contingency, yes. Winter Contingency Protocol. And he's like, as you know, interfering with Spartan deployment can lead you to basically like this horrible thing. And she's like, are you threatening me, Commander? And he goes, just making a reading suggestion, man. And then walks out. He's so cold. So good. I fucking love Reach. Sorry.
And then George is just like, ma'am.
And that'll be all, George. Everything about Reach works so well. I hate when people shit on Reach. If like you're dumb. Anyways, sorry. Getting back to the story.
What the fuck is going on with George and her? Right? What is the relationship there? Why does he respect her so much?
George is the only Spartan 2 part of Noble Team.
Right, okay. I don't know the lore. I'm just asking. So
Spartan 3s were not the same thing as Spartan 2s. Spartan 2s were handpicked by Halsey, so a lot of them have this weird like mother-son or mother-child relationship with Halsey to a certain degree.
Right, yeah.
So that's why he kind of feels like that.
He's a Spartan 3.
No, he's a Spartan 2. That's why he's huge. That's why he's fucking giant, and he has a helmet that looks a lot like the classic Mark.
Wait, so is everybody else a Spartan 3, did you say?
Yep.
Wait, Noble 6 is Spartan 3.
Yeah, everyone else in Noble Team is a Spartan 3 except for George. He's a Spartan 2.
And Spartan 3s were chosen from orphanages because they were more naturally like willing to give their life to kill the Covenant because they were orphaned by the Covenant. And the whole logic of that was essentially they were...
That makes sense.
They weren't as strong as a Spartan 2. Because the drugs that they were given weren't as like crazy in depth, but they were definitely like they were also experimented on. They were heightened, you know.
Yeah.
They were also a little bit older than because like the Spartan 2s were like 8 years old, and the Spartan they could be like 13, I think. Spartan 3s like they started old. And then you got the shitty Spartan 4s, which I'm not going to talk about because they're fucking dumb.
Yeah, 13. That's old. Yeah.
Spartans. That's pretty old. Anyways, and then the last episode is essentially it's a Warthog run. That's how it ends. It's a Warthog run to get to the Pillar of Autumn. Chief gets on board, and Linda. While this whole fight's happening, you know, Linda gets fucking blown up by a fuel rod cannon. She gets launched out of the fucking Warthog. You know, just hits her perfectly, and she like crawls behind some cover. She pulls out her sniper, and she like radios to John like, Get the hell out of here! Get that chip to the Pillar of Autumn now.
That's Halo. Come on.
No, I'm not gonna have her swear because like I don't think a Spartan would ever swear. I don't think Spartans would swear. It's just
have her fucking sniper rifle just be like snapped.
No, because there's a reason why. I basically want her to cover him. So she has like a giant chunk in her fucking side just blown out. She's fucking hurting, and I basically want her to roll over. And I basically just want her to take out the sniper, start sniping all these enemies, right? And then she gets up holding her side, holding any sort of organs in that might fall out because she's fucking blown apart. I want this to annihilate her. She gets up to the top of this fucking mountain ridge, and she's like, Chief, I got your 6. And I want it to be this cool scene where Chief has to park the Warthog because there's too much debris, too much of a battle going on. It's too dangerous. He uses too much of a target. So he gets it and starts running. And you just see this, as the fucking music swells, the da na 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 na, and she's just going boom boom, sniping fucking everyone.
He just rounds a corner and there's an elite immediately right in front of him, and then boom, it's gone, dead.
Yeah, exactly. And I want it to be a zealot too,
kind of like a hunter or something,
I don't know if actually, Hunter would be kind of cool too.
Yeah, have him slide, have him cha-cha slide across a corner, and it's just it goes into slow-mo as he sees a zealot right there in front of him pull out an energy sword, and then there's just a line that goes straight through its head.
Yeah, it's a line, and then you hear the fun fact. Sound moves slower than a bullet, and if you ever seen a movie, there's a sniper scene. A bullet should always hit first, and then you hear the sound. So I want to make that note. It goes.
Actually, question though, would you want to include hunters yet, or would you want them to be later down the track?
I would want it to be later down the track, or at least appear in this last episode as Chief's on his own. Finally, when Kelly can't cover him or Linda can't cover him anymore. I want him to basically be on his own, and he has to think about how he wants to handle it. Maybe Cortana's talking to him because she was introduced again early last episode, and he basically, she's giving him tactical information, all this shit. And we're not going to do the stupid shit that the fucking Halo TV show did where he hates her. That's dumb. I want him to respect her. Maybe not treat her like a human because she's not, even though she is in terms of intellectually she's a human.
Yeah, but I want him to kind of, what's the word? Have a bond with her because they're both obviously.
Well, yeah, no. But my point is it's 100% respect, or it's not respect. It's 100% just, we have a mission to accomplish. Loyalty. Let's do it. She's the more humane side of him, and that's how I want to show it. And I want him to respect her by the end of this Hunter encounter. But he doesn't fucking fall in love like the shitty fucking dog shit. Goddamn 343 fucking dumb shit. It's dumb. He doesn't fall in love. He respects her as a component to him, and so he takes it down, and he says thank you, and she says you're welcome. Just some cute little banter, and he moves. And he finally gets to the Pillar of Autumn, in which it takes off. He has a few lines with Captain Keyes. Halsey's on the planet still, and he realizes he's like, Halsey, you got to get out of here, whatever. Maybe have Captain Keyes interact, because it's the first time we see Captain Keyes. He's introduced as this big name character. And, Halsey stays behind, And
have Keyes be the best Captain Keyes actor?
Diversity.
I'm just trying to have a look now. It'd be the best one. Where is he now? Let's have a look.
Yes, have Brad Pitt play Captain.
What if? There, Bruce Greenwood. What if Bruce Greenwood played?
I have no idea who that is.
I'm looking this up.
I always thought he'd be such a good Captain Keyes.
Oh my god, that is fucking
do I know him from anywhere?
The thing is, he's in Star Trek. I don't know if you've seen Star Trek. He's
right, okay.
Pike.
I wouldn't know.
Have you ever seen Star Trek films? They're
I'll just Google Bruce Greenwood.
It's the one trilogy I gotta say, if we're on topic of that movies, which is actually the most consistently good Star Trek
If I get
films.
kicked out of the Discord call because I went on Google, I swear to God, I'm going to throw a tantrum.
Yeah, so it would end with basically everyone having
How good would that be though?
I want Chief to kind of be he looks out the window and he's clearly broken a little bit inside, although he's keeping his composure barely. Maybe he's a little out of breath after running so far, after dealing with all that stress. And Captain Keyes, I want him to appear sympathetic. I want him to be a badass, but I also want him to be sympathetic. He comes up to Chief as they're taking off.
Like a kind of father figure kind of thing?
No, not that. I don't want it to go that deep. I want it to be a mutual respect thing because it's the fucking military. That's all it needs to be. We don't need fucking emotions like this 343. But anyways, I want to put his hand on the armor, but because he's so tall, I want to kind of a light comedic moment where he reaches up really high to put his hand on his shoulder and pat him, even though he's not going to feel it. And he's just like, they'll be remembered.
Yeah.
It's a light comedic moment followed up with something sad. He's like, they'll be remembered, as he walks up to the captain's nest or whatever. And they take off, and boom shakalaka, the series ends. And that's how I would do.
For now.
Have a big to be continued sign show up during the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say Le Fin at the end.
What we'll
And then
do
just have
is
like in the post credit scene, like the post season scene, it's
Can I
just
just make a point of saying I love that song, Roundabout? It's one of my favorite songs ever.
Oh, by Yes.
Mm-hmm. Best song ever. Absolutely fucking goated.
so yeah. Any as we've hit the 2-hour mark, almost on the dot, so we concluded the series pretty well there. I think that was a pretty good show. What do you guys think?
Did.
Yeah. Fair point.
I think
fair
okay.
point.
I think we can
I
go
think
around
that
just by
works.
asking 3 major points. What's 3 things you need to have in this? If you were going to do it, 3 things you need to have.
No melodrama.
Like you're
You
saying with
need
that
to
shit.
have.
Okay.
You need to have gore. You need to have balls, and you need to have
Ryan Gosling as Master Chief.
I would say
coolness.
my 3 things would be
Christopher
simple.
Judge. You need to have You need to have Judge.
Judge
Yeah,
Dredd.
Christopher Judge and Bruce Greenwood for thingy.
I would say simply put, what I would do, it's pretty fucking easy. I have 3 simple things. You ready? Stay consistent with
I
Bungie
would
era
love to
games
hear it.
because those games had the most heart and soul put into them. No fucking melodrama because that makes the show uninteresting and fucking boring. And finally, I think I would have to say a plot that fucking feels tense and sets up things in a way that shows you how important they are. The Halo TV series, it is one of the worst shows I've ever seen, and I'm confident in saying that because it both relies on you having.
Right. No. When you're watching the Halo TV show, are you actually rooting for Master Chief to win?
Well, you don't even know what the fuck's going on because.
Or do you care about what Master Chief is doing?
Well, not even just that. It's like the show both relies heavily on you seeing the games and playing them, but also it shits on them at every second. So it doesn't. It's not made for anyone. It's
that's the thing. Yeah.
It's
that's
like
a completely different topic, but it's like
it's a thing
they want to
made for
appeal
no
to
one.
the audience for fans, and they also want to appeal for people outside. So they're trying to go in between to try and grab
which makes no
everybody.
fucking because you can do. I just proved that you can do that because that show that I just came up with is something new for everybody, unless you read the books, and even then, it's a new fucking look at it. Like, would everyone? You think everyone would enjoy that? Like, that would be a cool fucking show to watch, right?
Oh, yeah. That'd be great.
It would be good, and a lot of people would like it. You don't need all this fucking
that.
bullshit with melodrama. You don't need fucking Master Chief to pull a pill out of his ass and to get like, I can cry now because men cry too. Oh, and then Cortana's like,
make it exclusive for Paramount Plus.
and then Cortana looks at him and he goes, I can cry too because I'm Cortana. He's like, shut up, bitch, and like that's the entire show. Which, fuck, I hate that show.
So that's your 3 points. Brody, you'll be last because I think it was the most important.
He already gave us 3
I already gave my 3 points.
And then but you need to make another last point.
Well, yeah. That is true.
I think it's mostly summarized. I think no sex scenes. Just to have a TV series where there's no sex scenes in it. I know it's very rare nowadays for a short.
We need to have a sex scene with Captain Keyes as a flood monster with the Arbiter. That'd be so sexy. Seeing tentacles go into Arbiter's urethra. That'd be so hot.
Jeez, I gotta get the actual What was he getting again? The what do you have to punch into him to get out?
You gotta get the navigational codes or whatever.
What if that was somewhere else?
Yeah, the Arbiter gets sounded by flood tentacles.
Oh,
yeah, man. Okay, before that continues, so no sex scenes, please. Okay, we there actually are a few people out in the world who are intellectual enough to not need that to go. Oh, there we go. It's not
the story now. They love each other. Intellectual, about how much of a fucking degenerate you are. Okay, come on, let's be a little fair.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I think you can tell by the relationship.
You want sex scenes? There's websites for that, all right?
Exactly no sex scenes. What else, Sylas? What else?
No sex scene. Gore, obviously, that's a cool one. And just the music. You need good music. Mm-hmm. Just like scenes, like building. Scene building. You need music. You need good visuals. And
no,
it's very much
what's that one with just like the fucking really badass guitar riff from Reach?
Miona.
We've been engaged, and then the
I know the one from fucking Reach. Are you talking about the
Yes. Wait, is that the one where like you cat closes the door and then it's like
the one where George finds a civilian and then some like fucking zealots.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That.
That
Give me
one
that.
is so fucking
Put
crisp.
that in the show.
Yeah, it's good.
Put
and
that
it's
in
like
the
the
show.
POV, like the Noble Six, like kind of POV, like cinematic where you're looking around. Yeah.
I just want to play through Reach again. Every time I play like one mission of Reach, I have to play through the whole fucking game because it is literally it's the best Halo. I will defend it to this day. I don't care what anyone says about the fucking Bloom or anything like that. I don't give a shit. Shut up, bitch. Fucking Halo Reach is the best goddamn Halo, hands down. Even the Legendary, which I've heard people complain about, I actually like that game's Legendary a lot. It feels pretty fucking fine to me. It has some issues, but it feels good.
But yeah, same building. Again, just you need, and don't make it. It's very much a fine line, especially when you're trying to do games, especially sci-fi ones. You don't want to make it look really tacky in terms of setting and armors and whatnot, but also the choreography. Trying to show and depict that they're actual like these really strong people, but at the same time, don't do a She-Hulk. You gotta find like a balance in between where it doesn't look corny, like it looks realistic to an extent. Okay, obviously it's not a 7-foot person going around like picking people up. That's not, the most realistic, but you know what I mean? Like have some sort of a gritty,
based in
realist
reality though, yeah.
effect. Yeah.
It's
That's
about
what I mean. You gotta balance it well, and that's
it's about tone
comes with good CGI.
It's tone. It's 100% what tone is. And and this is why I don't like the 3 points thing. I hate that. Because it's like I have another thing right here. Keep a fucking consistent tone. That's 1. 2, do world building. The Halo TV show did no world building. It literally had 0 world building.
Yeah, no.
How do you make a TV show? It's a TV show. It's a fucking show. I have to emphasize that it is a show. It is literally designed so that you have time to do world building. Breaking Bad had to do world building, and that's set on Earth in current times. Every show needs world building. It's fucking the most important part. How do you have a story without a fucking setting? You can't do that. That's literally impossible. Yeah. You need to fucking set a world. If you don't set up fucking world building, why should we care? What are we supposed to know? How are we supposed to fucking feel anything when we don't know anything? It's the fucking one thing I hate about the Halo TV show. The one thing I hate the most. The sex scene, couldn't care less about it. Not even joking. Master Chief being naked and showing his ass, don't care that much, to be honest. What killed it for me, the one fucking thing that was the worst part about the Halo TV show compared to anything else, there was not a single ounce of world building. Nothing told me anything about the lore or the plot or the world. Nothing. I didn't know what the Covenant was there for. I didn't know I didn't know if the elites were a part of the same species or not as the fucking prophets. I didn't know what the prophets were. I didn't understand why humanity needed the fucking the Spartans. What did the Spartans actually accomplish? Why couldn't the humans just do this? Why do Spartans need like little inhibitors to stop their emotions from getting out? Why do Spartans seem to not remember their childhoods? Was that blocked on purpose? What purpose would that have? How would they remember their training if you blocked the fucking part of their, like, you don't know anything. Nothing's fucking told. Nothing's shown. You're just expecting to know this shit because you. Yeah. But then they fucking shit on the fucking. I'm sorry. I'm going on a goddamn unhinged tangent. I'm sorry. We need to end this episode. We're fucking 12 minutes past.
A bit of Minion Rush.
Brody, listen, Brody, you mentioned earlier.
Can I give my fourth and final point?
Well, I was gonna say, you mentioned earlier that there was one thing with the sex scene that you liked. I wanted to hear what you had to say about that.
Right. So basically,